What was that?
I'm 55.
You don't sound 55.
Well, that's because I put this condition with my voice.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so
It's a pretty. This isn't even like a very good fake accent.
wide is right. Trump
What
2024.
if you just used like your
Bring,
regular voice
bring,
instead of a
bring,
fake voice, though?
look.
What if you just used like your real
Democrats
voice?
is making us look bad.
Where'd your
De-
accent go?
my accent is bring back.
Oh, silly. 55. It sounded great for 55. Venus. That's right. Hashtag CoinCon. Did anybody, did anybody read that Senate bill? I'm also seeing NBC poll. Let's see. NBC poll has Biden or Trump up 5. Is that right? Let me look here. Sorry, I'm losing credibility. What did I lose my credibility for? You bully, PB Max. What did I lose my credibility for? Is it for being up late? Election flag. Ah, thanks, Chrissy. Let's see. Let's take a look at these polls. I don't see the new NBC poll. I don't know what they're pulling up. Oh, shit. Sorry. The GIFs. Oh, shit. I forgot I have to turn those off and on. I may have to restart it. I'm so sorry. Thank you, guys. Shit. I don't know if I can turn them off or not without starting over. Sorry. I'm looking. Yeah, I'm going to have to start over. Thanks. I'll be right back. Should be fixed. Is it working down there? Hi. Peepaw is here. Peepaw is here. Doing it like it wouldn't be me if I did a live by myself and didn't just like immediately screw up. It wouldn't be me. I was wondering. I was like, God, how did I lose credibility so quickly in a live? That made sense though. I am not yet elevated tonight, but don't worry, that will happen. We can talk about whatever you want. Where'd John Daly go? This shit is John Daly. Is that me? I'm just lighting a candle down here, guys, real quick. Get the smell going. There we go. Got the candle lit. It's always good. Sorry, this is what I shouldn't have told Jen. I should have told Jen before I went live. She would have reminded me to turn off the GIFs. And then you'll notice that I've got a different background here. And that this one doesn't say hashtag CoinCop, even though I do have it right before the live. I was clearing out space on my phone and I deleted my wallpaper, but I had already like put the wallpaper up, so now that wallpaper is also gone, so I had to use a different one. So there we go. Why'd you pin that, Jen? Oh, what the shit? Just had to pin that? That wasn't very nice. Look, I don't know if we'll get any opposition tonight. I haven't seen. If anybody has a funny story or a fun story they want to talk about, we can also do that. This is just a promised live, so I'm here to keep a promise. But I also had a promise to hang out with my daughter all day today, so I didn't prepare anything. I did make this shirt, though. If you see this is a Canadian goose. Obviously, you can see from the Canadian hat, the maple leafs here. There they are. And it says, it's backwards, but it says poisoning the blood. This is just a reminder to our good friend Joshua, our Border Patrol friend in Joshua, to keep those goddamn Canadian geese out of our country. It's not homemade. I made the design on Canva, and then Canva's like, you can turn this into a sweatshirt. And I was like, all right, I'm going to turn it into a sweatshirt. And I forgot about it because I did it when I was elevated, and then it showed up in the mail like 3 days ago. I didn't even open the package because I was like, I don't know what this is. And here we go. So I made a shirt. or a sweatshirt, and now I'm wearing it. Ooh, I loved the all caps for R2 motherfucking P. Derpy derp doopity derp. That is fun. Did you say sacrilegious to wear Canada? Yeah. You guys just aren't you just like, isn't Boston just like Canada's trailer park? Isn't that, I thought that's what Boston was. I didn't realize, I thought you guys were all just kind of the same. Is that not correct, Boston Brian? That's just what I heard. Look, I'm not a scholar. It's just what I've heard. Canada doesn't claim Boston. Felice is not joining tonight. She's had enough of me. Yeah, let's hop over to that to the new border deal. Let me pull it up. Where was it? Didn't Mo put it up? Shit, where is it? Will somebody, Jen, will you send it to me in Discord? If you have that link. I don't know. I had to click out of it. Listen, I don't know if we can do this without the host. The time will tell. Probably not. I don't think that we can. I think that things are going to take a bad turn. I was just looking at this NBC poll first. Biden has dipped across months of NBC polling. Trump has largely held still. Biden went from, in July of 23 at 49% down to 42%. Plus or minus 3.1% on the margin. What's most concerning is the erosion of Biden's standing against Trump compared to 4 years ago. On every measure compared to 2020, Biden's declined. Most damning, the belief that Biden is more likely to be up to the job. The chief tenet of the Biden candidacy has evaporated. It's hard to imagine a more difficult set of numbers before a re-election. I don't know. That's interesting. Fox News had a poll. This is how crazy polls are. Like, Fox News had a poll like 3 days ago that had Biden up like 5 or 6 points, and now we're on NBC, and NBC's got it literally the exact opposite way, 5 points. That's pretty wild. I don't know if anybody knows how to poll. I think we're struggling to poll. If I look at the presidential general election, if I look at that, the most recent polls. There's a Kari Lake poll. Somehow Perry Lake's group, the JL Partners, put out a poll, and they had Trump only up 4. McLaughlin and Associates, it's a 5-point difference. Biden up when it comes to YouGov. Yeah, I mean, it's still, everything looks essentially the same. But these, I think maybe this Fox News and this NBC were outliers, or people who take polls are just like fucking with us now. Maybe they all know who each other are, and they're just like, we're just gonna keep swinging the polls. Kari Lake, aka second place. Listen, that's the nicest thing you could say about Kari Lake is second place. Who said that? Did somebody say Eric, who was on with us Friday night, was given 2 attempts to say the pledge? Like, after bragging that he said the Pledge of Allegiance, that he knew the Pledge of Allegiance, he then was unable to do it with 2 attempts. Is that correct? That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Can you guys say the pledge? I bet I can. Raise your hand if you said the pledge in school. Did you guys say the pledge? Do they? I don't know. Do they? I don't think they still say the pledge in school, do they? I have no idea. We didn't say the pledge at my daughter's school, but that's also a Christian school, so I don't know. It feels weird, doesn't it? It feels weird. Brian.
What's up, handsome? How are you?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe what?
That's weird. It's loading on my end. Can you guys hear Brian? That's weird. It's loading on my end. Can you guys hear Brian?
I can hear me.
No? I can't hear Brian. You guys can hear him? What in the shit?
You can't hear me at
Call me
all?
handsome? Oh, Brian, I'm gonna drop you. Come back up. Let's try this. Let's do. That's weird. I don't know what's up with that.
What kind of operation are you running
Oh,
here?
my TikTok's not gonna let me take guests. Is this what's going on now? I can't hear Brian again.
This is ridiculous. How can you not hear me?
Nothing. This is crazy. So you guys can all hear. Yeah, I have another phone here recording. I can see that. Like, I can hear him on the other phone. What? Unplugged your camera or headphones. I did. Look, I unplugged it. Unplugged it. Let's see. You can try which headphones. I don't know. Let me try a different pair of headphones. Where did they go? There's the cord. Things are going well, guys. Thanks for asking. Things are going really, really well. What's this? We may just be like shit out of luck tonight. This might be a sign. Alright, I'm going to try some different headphones here. Alright. Oh, I think that's better. Oh, I can hear myself. Neat. Alright. Let me plug it all the way in. I think it was just the headphones. I'm thinking it was the headphones. It's good now. Can you guys hear me? Everybody good? Alright, let's try this. No, it's still doing it.
What kind of operation is this? What is happening?
Well,
he can hear me. He can't hear me, but the chat can.
I'm going
Maybe
to
I'll just talk to
restart the live. I'll restart. I'll get out of TikTok, restart it, and do it again. I have no idea. It's crazy.
Things are going well.
On my end, it looks like Boston Brian's just loading.
Can you hear me?
Jen's
Jen,
just
can you
loading.
hear me?
Nothing.
I can hear you.
I'm sure they can
Hi,
talk.
Jen.
I can just sit here.
Oh,
You guys want to have a talk with each other?
We
You can do that.
He's just talking to
Gifts off.
himself.
Thank you. I'll try my best. Yeah, sorry. No!
What did you
What
do?
in the shit? I can't hear Jen. Is she messing with me? Can you guys hear Jen?
Yes.
I hate all of you in there. This isn't good. Let me try.
This is the most boomer thing. One of the most boomerish things that I think Jay's ever done. Watch. His headphones probably aren't even plugged in. How much you want to bet?
What about now?
I can hear you.
Oh, I did it!
Oh, finally, yay!
No, my headphones were working. I could hear, I can
You
hear
sure
myself.
they were plugged in?
Yeah, there's feedback for me. I can hear myself when I talk. I just couldn't hear you guys, and it would give me this spinny wheel. It didn't show up as a clear picture. It gave that little TikTok 2-dot thing. You know what I mean?
Is your Wi-Fi connected?
What's that?
Yeah, you have decent Wi-Fi?
Should be pretty fast. I don't know. What you want me to speed test it? Hold on, guys. Let's do a speed test.
I mean, you don't need to light any more candles, probably.
I'm gonna light more candles. Listen, that wasn't the problem.
Right.
Anyways, this is. Oh yeah, I got 900 megabits per second. I'm cooking with gas over here.
I mean, you don't know what that term means.
That's just under a gigabyte. And I don't know what either of those terms mean, but I know
That's why
1,000 megabytes. Check out that upload too. For upload, look at this. We're floating around 38, 40.
You're
Oh,
just
this
throwing
is
numbers
real.
out. You're just making shit up at this point.
Download 932.4 megabits per second. Upload 38.56. Jeez, I'm like the United States military over here with my internet. Look at that. Boomer has slapping Wi-Fi. That's right. And I am flexing. I am bragging. It's good Wi-Fi. Did you read this bill yet?
I not in depth, no.
Dope. Well, I assume for Sunday, what are we doing for Sunday? Just accountability lives? Is that
Probably.
Is that what we're doing for Sunday?
Do you have anybody you want to call
Sunday.
out?
Well, I want to own my behavior. I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody.
Right.
The double champ does what the fuck he wants. That's Conor McGregor, the greatest call out in the history of sports at the end of a fight, but you don't care about that.
I mean, you would pick Conor McGregor, who does all kinds of sketchy shit.
Listen, people who do too many substances sometimes say some wild things. Okay,
I know.
and he has a lot of money, and it's snowy in Ireland and really wherever he goes. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of snow. It seems the weather follows him around.
Got it.
So it's a great call out. All right. Well, can you give me some MAGA so I don't have to just read this bill?
I mean, I'll do my best. I'll see. I mean, if all else fails, you could practice the Pledge of Allegiance, because that's...
All right. Yeah. Tell me what happened with this. Can you explain this to me?
I mean, Eric came up doing typical Eric shit.
Which is pretending he wanted unity or something?
Yeah. And then, so then he started saying how, wants unity. And, he's like, it's in the Pledge of Allegiance. I know the Pledge of Allegiance. Do you know the Pledge of Allegiance? And then he pivoted to Snoop Dogg and...
So wait, did somebody say, wait, can you say the Pledge of Allegiance?
Well, so they were out, like, when he had, ping-ponged around to all the different topics he had in his head, people were like, did he ever say the pledge? So I came up and said, hey, Eric, why don't you say the pledge for us? And he started out...
He started out, at first I was afraid, I was petrified. You're like, that's not it.
Yeah, 4 words, and then he got really, really mad. And so then I came up again a second time and said, okay, round 2. You can do it again in round 2. Didn't get it at all. And then he got really, really mad and talked about how he lived in the hood. I said, you're in North Sacramento. You're not in the hood. Stop it.
Yeah, just because you live in Sacramento, it's not the hood. There's just not electricity.
No, I mean, there is now. There wasn't.
Bullshit.
There is now. But, yeah. So, yeah, he got really, really mad and then said, I'm not mean to you guys. I used to have an anger problem.
An anger problem?
He used to, not anymore. He used to.
Was Grandma there? I feel like Grandma... I don't have a light tonight. We're going dark. I feel like Grandma could have been useful in that scenario.
I mean, I asked. He said she was still there, but he may have... I don't know. He may have locked her in, a closet from not supporting Trump.
She locked him in the closet. Grandma's running that show. First of all, it's probably Grandma's house now that I think about it.
I mean, he said where he picked her up from, which isn't super far from roughly where he is, but hopefully she hit him with a pan or something later. But
well, I hope he's making it. Can you do the pledge? Can you just rattle it off?
I didn't claim I could do it as a flex, so no.
But can you?
I'm
gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot.
To the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right?
Yeah, like you missed a couple ands, but it just felt like you were making it go quicker. Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yeah, I don't try to. I mean, I like to be efficient with how I speak. So an and or an extra of that here and there isn't necessary.
Just leave out words and do it more quickly.
And not important ones.
Yeah.
Just the filler words.
That's true. Look, Leanners is here.
Yeah, no, so he got really mad that he started telling us about how he has all these polo clothes and all these shoes and
polo clothes? Like, does he play polo? Or
no,
like Ralph Lauren?
Yeah, like the brand.
All right. So, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it was a lot. He got really, really mad and very unhinged. And then I think he left. But then he got really. He said he was very elevated himself, and so he thought like the phone.
I don't condone that.
I know it's. I thought that you were like on a break. Did your break end with that?
Wait, what?
Didn't you say you were on an elevation break?
Oh, I was yeah, I was going to do well, it's February. It was just January. I mean, I didn't do it, but if I would have followed through and done all of January, that would be over. I didn't.
I mean, you talked about it, so you didn't commit to it.
No, what I found out is that the real problem is like what you eat. So if you just don't eat when you do it, it's not really a problem for me.
So you were eating too much.
Yeah, and I realized I'm like, oh, it makes me too tired. And it's like, no, I think it was like one night I ate like half a bag of tortillas. Like I don't really have much junk food around. But I didn't have anything, so I just ate tortillas.
Those tortillas.
Just straight out of the bag. Yeah. They were carb friendly. They were like those low carb ones, but I ate half a bag. The only reason I didn't eat a whole bag is because there was only half a bag. Like I'd already eaten the ones with making tacos. So yeah. You guys know what I mean. That's a tough thing when you really want a snack and you open your fridge and it's like you've got like an onion and like 2 eggs and then you're like, man, what am I gonna make? An onion and egg breakfast burrito, which isn't that bad. I've done that before.
I can't do crunchy onions. They have to be soft. What?
So stupid. Nothing. I felt stupid that I laughed at that, and then I laughed that I laughed at it. Just a child. Who was in the box? There was somebody in the box. They're gone. Sorry, whoever that was in the box. Thought it was Daryl Washington, I think is what it said. I might have made that up.
So did you have a Lombardi, Reggie, whoever in the encounter earlier?
A who?
Lombardi, Reggie, whoever encounter. But I hadn't joined live yet, but I thought someone said it in the comments. Your first round when you went live.
Oh, is that who that was?
I guess. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was like a kid, but the same thing was happening. Like the accent faded so fast. Like once I started asking questions that he had to think about, the accent really went away quickly.
So you could hear that person, but then you pretended you couldn't hear Brian and I the last 2 times?
No, because this is my 3rd time doing this live. Remember the first time I went live and then someone's like, you're losing credibility. And I was like, why? And they're like, oh, your GIFs are on. I was like, son of a bitch.
Got it.
So I had to stop that one. Then I started the next one. And that's when the microphone wasn't working. But like everybody knows, if there's a tech problem, call Jay. He'll fix it. And here we are.
Well, so the very first live that you went, with the coin caught the first round, did you actually turn them off? Or did you check? Because I know if I went in and turned them off for you ahead of time, I thought.
It doesn't do that. Yeah, no, I just assumed that it would keep doing it, but you have to go do it every time. It doesn't save the settings from the last. You know how like it'll save the title and it'll save the last background you used, but it doesn't save the settings. Yeah, I'd imagine TikTok doesn't want that to be permanently shut off. I'd imagine TikTok wants you to have to make the click each time.
Right. So are you going past the when you had civil misspelled?
I hope you guys are enjoying this tech talk this evening. What did you ask?
I said how when you misspelled Civil War, it was like
no. I was talking about Cecil. It was Cecil War, and I just wanted to discuss that. But then somebody thought it meant Civil War, and that's how we got on it. But I was wondering if there was going to be another Cecil War.
Really? What's a Cecil?
My grandfather was named Cecil. His name was Cecil. Well, I guess he might be like my he's a great uncle actually, but we called him Grandpa.
He was a lot of wars.
You can look him up. His name's Cecil O. Samuelson. He was the president of Brigham Young University. He has the personality of a rock. He's the most dull human I've ever been around in my entire life.
But he was very, very. I was going to say something that was probably going to be really inappropriate, so I'm just not going to.
Hot? You were going to say hot?
Yeah.
He's a hot, steaming old man.
for The Rock. But that was.
What were you going to say about Uncle Cecil? The fuck? Are you elevated? What's going on with you?
No, we've been over this. I can't do, I'm more of an uppers kind of
Yeah,
person.
well, you've said that, but I'm listening to you right now, so
No.
I think you might have been lying.
I mean, I don't do that. I'm painfully honest about just about everything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I believe you.
I'm
No, Cecil Samuelson, not
right.
Smith.
So, but you were worried that Cecil was having more war.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there was going to be another one. That's the point. It's not.
And
thank
Cecil
you.
is still living.
Probably. That's a good question. Let me find out. Let's see if he's alive still.
Because that would be concerning.
I don't really talk to. That's my mom's side of the family. I haven't talked to anybody over there. It looks like he's still living, as far as I can see.
So he could start another war as long as he's living.
82. He's thriving. Are you kidding me? The guy's killing it. He's the president. He was the president of the Lord's University. He's gonna live forever.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He might not move around, but he could maybe command some troops for a Cecil war.
I think Cecil would do it on his own. Look at the man. You don't see.
I've never seen the man, and this is the first time I've ever heard about Cecil.
Yeah, Google him. He's got a really strong part. I mean, he puts a lot of time and effort into the part on the side of his head.
Gotcha.
That's a man's part.
A man's part. How is a man's part different than a woman's part?
One is like inside, one's outside. I think that's the main difference. If you were explaining it to somebody, just if you had to explain that to somebody who didn't know, I'd say like it's like an innie versus an outie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Jay, why aren't you watching 90 Day Fiancé? Let me tell you what. I had never watched that show, and then I did watch it, and I don't understand the people that are past like 8 episodes. I've probably watched 8 to 10 episodes. After that, it feels abusive. It feels like you shouldn't be watching people be this goddamn ridiculous. It feels a little bit abusive.
To me, I don't know. Whenever I see that show, it's like you don't. To me, I could never pretend to like someone that much. I mean, I don't like most people, so it's to pretend to like someone. Ew. It's I couldn't do it.
What would we have to do, Jen, to get you to go on like a dating show? Everybody, actually, we won't do that. But everybody, if you have somebody to set Jen up with, Jen really wants to be set up. If any of you guys have suggestions, I'm almost done, Jen. If any of you have suggestions from TikTok, let's send them to Jen. Just actually, don't tell Jen. Just tell them to message Jen directly with their best pickup. I will blow up
everything.
We just.
I can ruin lots of things.
There's two N's in Jen. There's two N's there.
Better than this.
And there's a little star. She's one of the moderators. Just tell she loves men with trucks. Big if they have trucks.
Or drugs.
Trucks. Big trucks. Lifted trucks.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
She loves that. So if you have any friends like that, or if you've run across some, make sure
message if they want their feelings hurt.
Let them know Jen's DMs.
No.
Their best pickup line. There you go, Jen. I told you. Look, it wasn't that embarrassing.
You're just mad because I made it so you can't date anymore because you make all these bad decisions. So
my life has gotten so much better since I stopped dating imaginary people.
Stop dating. You're just not allowed to anymore. You're like on timeout.
Yeah. Either way, like it sounds better the way I say it, but when it's been much better without being. Dating
Yolanda,
somebody who's not real.
Absolutely not. I swear to God.
What's that? What did Yolanda say? Yes. Is she trolling? Jen and David. Sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
My co-stars on Snap. So we talked about those too.
He's got an electric car.
So?
Well, it's I have to pay for gas.
I don't go anywhere. It's good.
But now you could.
I don't want to.
You and David could. For date night, what are you going to do for date night? This is perfect.
I don't want to go on a date night. No.
How old's is your daughter old enough to babysit yet?
No, she's 10.
How old do you have to be to babysit? What's the right age?
Older, forever.
Forever. Okay. All right. So you are going to have to hire a babysitter, but I feel like David would spring for a babysitter.
I don't want. You know what? You guys are just getting ridiculous. I'm not just starting muting people. Some of you guys.
So you don't want somebody that's already married. I get it.
Yeah.
Jeff's available.
No. I put myself in dating timeout because I've made some bad decisions.
What about Eric?
I have to stay timeout to think about what I've done. So I'm thinking about what I've done so I can make better decisions. So I'm in dating timeout now, which is good. So.
You missed the big fight. There was a big fight? What did Jen do for you to suggest Jeff? I could tell by the way she was talking to you, that's what she needed.
What?
What about the border? I don't remember what I said. I'm reading the comments now. Eric and his grandma are a package deal. That's not bad. I might date Eric if grandma comes along. Eric's grandma needs somebody to talk to. It can't be easy.
That's why I don't leave my house because I might run into Eric. So it's just safer that way.
Wait, what's the big fight? Somebody said I missed the big fight. Was there a big fight?
Who had a fight?
I don't know. People keep saying there was a big fight.
Are we talking about when David joined Nemo's and Whispers Live for a minute?
That might be what they're talking about. Did that get ugly?
I mean, he came up. He was going on and on about Eddie, and then I think they blocked him on 3 accounts, if I remember right.
David, Eddie, and Wise Chris? Huh. That was bad.
Was it that long? I mean, he wasn't up there very long.
In T's Live?
Ooh, hey. That one. I missed that one.
Yeah, I could not hang yesterday. I tried my best. I sat in this seat for like 15 minutes. Just like, I'm going to do it. I can do this. And then I couldn't.
What, to go live?
Yeah, last night. Just wasn't happening.
The plan was always Friday and Sunday, I thought.
Yeah, but then I was like, maybe we'll go Saturday night. On Friday, I said, maybe we'll do tomorrow night. And then it just wasn't happening. And it sucked. I felt bad because Felice just assumed we were doing it Saturday night. And Felice drank. She texted me like 20 minutes before and was like, I'm so ready to go. I just drank like a whole pot of coffee. I'm like, oh no.
I mean, I always thought everybody was Sunday. So.
Yeah, happy Sabbath to everybody. Happy Sabbath. All right. Well, what do we do? We gonna open the box, or what should I do?
It's open.
I didn't prepare anything.
There's opposition. I mean, I'm just talking trash to Jay like I always do, in public versus private. So.
You're actually nicer in public than you are in private. People would think that this is like an act, but she's significantly nicer when you guys are here to witness it.
Well, you don't reply to messages. It's like your phone goes in your pocket and just disappears for days. So.
Let's see. Should I vote for a dark diaper being Biden, or should I vote Trump? What is a dark diaper?
A dark diaper.
I don't know, but it's ironic to be talking about diapers and point at Biden.
Right.
He's not the one wearing one. David was in Wise Live, then left, and Eddie came on. Oh, is Eddie back? Is it Eddie the attorney Eddie, or Eddie like EDDY?
Which Eddie? I mean,
that's what I don't know.
Which Eddie are we talking about? Are we talking about the attorney Eddie?
I'm trying to find out.
You know what? I feel like I heard something about another beef with the other Eddie, the one that used to come in here all the time and request,
Attorney Eddie's back. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if David can even get into our lives. I don't know how many accounts Jen has blocked him on. How many?
I blocked like 2 or 3, but then you bring them back. You've unblocked him. I don't know how many times. It's like
I haven't unblocked him. I don't think. Unbearable. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
How are we?
Well, I'm good. I can't speak for Jen here.
I'm all right.
I'm doing well.
What's up?
So is this the topic? Why won't you vote for Biden?
Sure. Yeah.
Easy. He politicizes too much stuff.
Was he politicized? That's kind of that's a fun thing to. It's a fun accusation to throw at a politician. I like that. That's kind of like their job. But what does he do that's too much?
I guess insulin is a good example.
Insulin?
Yeah, insulin was at $35 when he came into office, or lower. And then he revoked some executive orders, making it more expensive, made it harder for other people, and now he brought it back down. He's doing the same thing with oil.
Wait, it was his executive order that capped insulin at $35.
Correct, but it was already in play, and then
What do you mean it was already in play?
like it was already at $35 until then when he came into office, he revoked that. He destroyed one of Trump's health achievements.
You think he came in and Trump had capped it at 35, and then Biden undid that, and then put it back in place?
Well, I know he did that. I mean, I live with somebody who's a diabetic, and they were a Biden supporter. They're not anymore, but they were, and they thought they were gravy. They thought they were smooth sailing, and then it took them almost 2 years to get it back down to $35.
I honest to God, I've never heard anybody make this claim ever. For the life of me, I don't have a clue in hell what you're talking about. Is there something I could Google?
So I just Googled it, and there's a claim, and this is on AP, that President Joe Biden raised insulin prices after former Trump presidency lowered them. Assessment: misleading. The president doesn't set the price of drugs. The Biden administration repealed a narrow Trump-era regulation that sought to lower the cost of insulin at federally funded health centers. The regulation was never implemented, and experts say impact was expected to be limited. So whatever Trump did hadn't even gone into effect.
Okay, I remember what you're talking about now. Yeah, so he undid that, created an executive order that would work. Again, like Trump's, I don't even remember, Trump's, I'm pretty sure, came by executive order. Is that right, Jen?
So what I'm reading here is whatever he hadn't even gone into effect. It wasn't even.
That's what I mean. Yeah, but it was an executive order, right?
I think so. Yeah, I can send you this link on that.
Yeah, so it's not like it was at 35. It's not like it was capped at 5 and then he got rid of it and then brought it back. Like there was a move to push, and I don't even know if it was supposed to be at $35. I know it was just supposed to lower the price. But then Biden came in and wrote the executive order so that it's at 35.
People were paying down all the way down to like $13 for prescriptions for their insulin at one point.
You can still pay less than $35. The cap is $35. So depending on who your insurance provider is and where you're getting your insulin, you might pay more or less. But the cap is $35.
But that actually would only be for like Medicare, things that are federally funded, because the president doesn't control private health insurance prices.
It's just Medicare.
Yeah, it would just be Medicare. It wouldn't be everybody's.
But yeah, definitely Trump's the underdog.
But why? You said that was politicized. What do you mean that was politicized?
It was politicized. He wanted to take away what Trump did and make it his own. Kind of.
Yeah, but you understand Trump didn't do it, right?
He tried getting it into place, and it was already in place. There were people that were paying cheap insulin at one point.
But not because of his order. Yeah, but not because of his order, because that hadn't been put in place.
The executive order.
They never executed on that order.
It's usually happens quicker than legislative order.
One thing to always ask yourself is, does this story make any goddamn sense? And it would make no sense for Joe Biden to do that. Like, everybody knows how that would look. Like, if he undid Trump's, raised it again, and then lowered it back down, like, he just wouldn't have done that. That makes no sense.
It made no sense that.
So then that's why you go back. So that's why you go back and check the story and you find out the truth of like what really did happen. Because obviously there was a little bit of truth to that there was an executive order, but it was not in place.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with what the media says. I just go by with what people
you don't seem, but you haven't told me anything. I asked you, like,
I did.
What was the executive order that Trump put in place?
I don't have my laptop. I'm sorry, I'm outside.
Okay.
Was your friend covered under Medicare?
Yes.
Really? Because not all Medicare plans were covered in this either. originally. So some did. Some were willing to do it to lower it,
I think
but
it was majority clinics did it.
Can you? I mean, go grab your laptop. Set your source. Because what I'm reading in front of me.
I'm gonna enjoy my cigarette and then I'll go in there and get it.
Okay, we can switch. We can switch subjects. Then what was the next thing? What about it?
He campaigned on getting rid of fossil fuels in Pennsylvania and fracking, and now everyone's excited because he turned up the gas, or trying to turn up the gas, and instead we have so much.
What do you mean by turned up the gas? What do you mean by that?
He turned it on, like he allowed. He's had permits this whole time, but most of the permits you couldn't have equipment on, or you couldn't drill on. It was just allowed to be.
That's what the permit's for. How could you have a permit for a place you couldn't drill on?
This is what drillers were telling me in Utah. So
okay, where in Utah? In Vernal?
Now,
where do you live in Vernal?
No, above it, Provo area.
Roosevelt area. Yeah. Okay, I have tons of family there. I can tell you that.
So BNSF Railroad is up there.
Hold on.
Right? Am I correct on that part?
Hold on. They've been drilling like crazy in Vernal, all throughout the Biden administration.
Correct.
So your issue is that more drilling is happening under Biden? That's your issue?
No. So BNSF Railroad of Utah we're endorsing Biden, and they made an extra $2 billion when Biden came in to office because of the sanctions that he put on, cutting off the construction of the XL pipeline, and it made it so that BNSF was to be the main distributors of the Midwest with transporting, drilling.
No, wait, hold on. The Keystone
refining.
Pipeline was a pipeline to take tar sand oil from Canada to the Gulf. That would have nothing to do with BNSF. They weren't going to be involved, and anything BNSF is hauling is inside the United States, mostly east to west, right? Like this has
Correct.
literally nothing to do with the Keystone Pipeline. There's no connection whatsoever to them getting a government contract in the Keystone Pipeline.
I never said they did. I said with the Keystone down, with the XL pipeline being not finished, BNSF got more on the market because of that.
No, I'm trying to explain this to you. What was going to go through the Keystone Pipeline? You understand the Keystone Pipeline wasn't a train track, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, what was it?
It was a pipeline that was underground.
Yeah, and what went through it? What was going to go through it? What was going to go through the pipeline?
Crude oil.
What? No, what? Tar sand oil.
Okay.
Tar sand. So that's oil that we don't use for our cars. That oil was not.
No,
it was
plastics.
Canadian. And it was Canadian oil that they were trying to export not into the United States, not in the United States, specifically not in the United States. It was going down to the Gulf of Mexico so it could get on ships and go other places. But it was going to save them time and money, and that's why they were paying us to run a pipeline. So they canceled that pipeline, but BNSF was not ever going to be carrying that tar sand oil. And they're not now carrying tar sand oil. That's why I'm saying they don't go together. Like these two stories don't go together. They're not even doing the same thing. It's like me losing my job at Burger King, and you're like, this really affects me over at Jiffy Lube, right? Like Jiffy Lube is cleaning up now. Like a better example would be like the Burger King closed, and you're like, now Jiffy Lube's making more money. People would be like, that doesn't make any sense. No, people aren't like hungry, and they're like, fuck, no Burger King? I guess I'll go to Jiffy Lube. Right?
Yeah, no, that tar sand oil, the crude oil we were selling, selling.
No, stop saying crude oil. It wasn't. Wait, stop saying crude oil. It's tar sand oil.
This is almost the same thing. It literally.
No, it's not almost the same thing. One of them you
plastic.
Produce into gasoline, and the other one is used for plastics. They're not the same.
Petroleum
But
is
even if they were close to the same, they're still not the same. And what
in the Middle East, you use petroleum.
What was going to go through the pipeline was tar sand oil. And what BNSF is hauling around is not tar sand oil that was going to go from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico. Your story doesn't make any sense.
What we get from overseas is what we use for our vehicles.
We're talking about... No.
What we ship out is what's made out for plastics.
Brother, you're just saying a bunch of new things. Like, you're just saying stuff that comes to your mind. Let's have a conversation. Okay? Like,
well, and then also, wasn't this explained to you from Tommy, my dude, like a week ago? Didn't you have this exact conversation?
No, I don't even know who you two are.
Not us.
She said my
Tommy,
dude.
my dude. There's people in the comments who mod for Tommy, my dude, and they said that you were on his live not even a week ago, having this same conversation explained to you.
I was on
already.
live earlier. It's like my third time going live on this account.
Talking about the Keystone XL pipeline and the things that it didn't do.
Not me, no. This is the
Right.
first time I brought it up on live in over a year.
Calling some BS on that one, but all right.
I mean, I turned my camera on if I could. I don't have that many followers yet.
I mean, I'm just a bill in the
I make
comments.
videos.
Is one
my
of Tommy's
accounts.
OG mods, so is Paige. So, I mean, you can just be honest. It's all right.
I've been honest this whole time, and this is my seventh account. I was Mr. Independent before Unbearable, and I came back after September.
So your point is, I mean, the XL. First, you started off with frack, and you said that Biden was being dishonest or too political about. Jay, you're muted.
Let me just read this real fast. This is from the executives at BNSF. One of the top executives at the nation's leading hauler of crude oil in trains, this was before the Keystone Pipeline, it's 2014, said Friday that the proposed Keystone XL pipeline wouldn't take away any of his company's business. Matt Rose, the executive chairman of BNSF Railroad, told Fox Business News Network's Maria Bartiromo that the controversial pipeline project would move primarily heavy crude oil from Western Canada to refineries on the Gulf Coast. BNSF dominates the movement of light, sweet crude from North Dakota's Bakken region to east and West Coast markets not served by pipelines. Bakken has enabled North Dakota to become the number 2 petroleum producer behind Texas, and most of it moves by trains. So this is BNSF saying that this Keystone Pipeline literally doesn't affect us. We haul different kinds of oil. So now you disagree with me and the CEO of BNSF.
Yeah.
Because somebody told you this?
Because the workers told me this. If they're going to tell me that
I think they're wrong. Do you
if they're
think
telling
they
me
know
that
better
they're
than him?
making more, yeah, they're the ones on the ground. Their feet on the ground. They're the ones.
Are they hauling tar sand oil?
They were
Do they
hauling
make
everything. They were
business
telling me.
decisions, or do they just-
said, but think about this. If they're hauling the same thing,
They're not.
BNSF,
They're not. They're not. They are not hauling the same thing.
They are.
It's different. Let me read from the executive one more time, explaining the difference between the two. Matt Rose, the executive chairman, said the controversial pipeline project would move primarily heavy crude oil from Western Canada to refineries on the Gulf Coast. BNSF dominates the movement of light, sweet crude from North Dakota's Bakken region. He is laying out the difference between what the two companies haul. He's saying that nothing about the Keystone Pipeline will affect us. I'm sorry. I'm going to probably trust him over like your oil field buddies.
And are these the same friends who got the $35 insulin?
No. If you were paying attention earlier, he's a liberal, and he does not support Trump.
Paying attention to what? You didn't say anything about being a liberal.
I did.
Anyways, so so far 0 for 2. So first of all, you were wrong about the insulin. It was never put in place. So there was nothing there that he undid, raised the price, and then dropped it back down. So that was untrue. And then the second thing you brought up turns out to also be untrue. That BNSF got a bunch, like, I don't remember if it said... The fuck was that?
Well, originally I said he politicized on everything, and he has so far. He did say that he was going to take away fracking. He did say he was going to take away fossil fuel. So...
Hold on 1 second. Can you guys talk for a second? 1 sec.
He didn't say he was going to take away fracking, because that's, number one, not something
yes,
that...
Yes, he did. He did, actually. It's on camera, him saying it in Pennsylvania. He got down in this young lady's face and said, I'm going to take it away. We're going to get rid of fossil fuels.
What?
This is in 2020.
That sounds completely accurate. I'm going to take it away, like on timeout. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, someone's shooting fireworks like right across the street. That was wild. All right. So we decided you're wrong about the insulin, and then you were wrong about the oil. So and neither one of those things seem to be politicized.
Well, he was talking about just a second ago when you walked away that Biden said he got into a lady's face in Pennsylvania saying he's going to take away fracking and fossil fuels. So
yeah, he campaigned on ending fracking. He hasn't accomplished that. You know who else banned fracking? Ron DeSantis.
Do you think it's hypocritical now that he's letting people frack and drill?
No, dude. It's honestly no, because the president doesn't have control over that. If you wanted to ban fracking, you're going to have to do that most likely like on state levels first, but you're going to need Congress to pass a bill, and there's no way Congress is going to pass a bill to end fracking. It's just not going to happen. Like you understand that presidents don't fulfill all their promises, right? Like when Trump said he was going to rebuild all our roads and bridges and airports, he didn't do any of that, right? Why? Because he wasn't able to pull it off. Like he was there for 4 years, he didn't, for whatever reason, that wasn't passed. But that happens.
I hear you, but at the same time, I still find Joe Biden illiterate, and I don't think he's
illiterate. You think he can't read?
Yeah, he has the telemarketer right in front, or the teleprompter right in front of him, and he's still stuttering.
Yeah, he has a stutter.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, he historically
had surgery in 1987.
You don't get surgery for a stutter.
No, he had something wrong with inside of his brain. I think it was a brain aneurysm, or he had a tumor, just like Bo.
Was that brainerism?
Brain aneurysm. I actually.
Aneurysm.
Are you saying an aneurysm?
I actually have a speech impediment. Joe Biden never did.
No, Joe Biden literally had a speech impediment.
He never did, though.
He's had a documented speech impediment since
he never did, though. In 1987, when he
cite your source there, because hold on, he says
my source.
Wait, he says he did. What's your source?
He says that he also said that his son died in Afghanistan or Iraq.
Well, and you also were wrong about the first two things. So let's not attack other people's credibility. And second of all, what you're talking about with Joe Biden talking about, hold on, quiet. When you're talking about his son, all he's saying is that he lost his son because of what happened in Afghanistan. And sometimes he says, I lost my son in Afghanistan, and he doesn't explain what that means. But you know the story. You know goddamn well what the story is, and everybody else does too. But when he doesn't tell the whole story, you guys do this dumb thing where you pretend that that he either is lying or forgot that his son passed away from cancer. No, it's what he's saying is it's because of the burn pits.
He's lying. No, he's lying because his son could have had the same surgery he had in '87. And it would have saved his life.
No,
what? What are you talking about? His son
for the brainerism? The brainerism surgery?
Brain aneurysm.
Brother, what's the surgery called?
Not sure. Actually, I'm sorry, it was 88. He ran in 87. He got caught lying in 87 twice. When he said that, he marched for the civil rights, and the campaign manager kept saying, stop saying that, you didn't. And the media reported saying he didn't. To this day, he still says that.
I gotta fact check that now too, because you've been wrong so far about everything. Hold on, real quick.
CNN actually reported on that.
You wouldn't trust CNN now, would you?
So you're saying Beau Biden could have had that surgery when he was 20 years old?
Yes.
Because he wasn't diagnosed with cancer till in 2000. What year was that? It was before he ran in 16.
Joe wasn't diagnosed either until he passed out, and they found out that he had that in his head.
You're conflating different things. Beau Biden had cancer. Joe Biden has a speech impediment that has been documented since his grade school days.
Nope.
But if he would have got the surgery for his speech impediment, then he wouldn't have gotten cancer from the burn pits in Afghanistan. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Unbearable?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I was joking. Oh no, that is what you're saying. Okay. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. I don't know how to respond to that. You think that, wait, hold on. Let me make sure. So if Beau Biden would have gotten the surgery that gets rid of his speech impediment, then when he went and served our country and was exposed to chemicals from the burn pits that ultimately gave him cancer and took his life, if he would have had the speech impediment surgery, none of that would have happened. the
That's
conclusion.
what I'm saying, but you're also deflecting from the fact that
That's
Joe Biden
an
had
insane.
no stutter.
That's an insane thing to
Never
say.
had a stutter. There's nothing that shows that.
What are you talking about? Like it's
Here,
of course he did.
Nope.
If you want to put me on the big screen,
Nope.
here's a PBS article that states that Biden's stutter, how childhood battle shaped him, from PBS. He has got a known documented
PBS.
stutter since childhood.
Government-funded media programming.
You got it.
They're lying about the stutter.
Right.
The stutter.
Because he's not. It doesn't ever show him stuttering. It just says it. Just says that he
It's
did.
because he's worked on
Watch
it
it.
since he was a child.
Watch it. Yeah, watch it. He didn't have a stutter.
There are tons of instances of him throughout his time in the Senate stuttering.
No, there isn't.
Long before he was old.
Yeah, and since '72, when he became a senator.
So did the surgery not work?
In '72.
Wait, what was that stutter then? If
He
didn't have a stutter, why was he
When
stuttering?
he became a senator in '72, there was no stutter. He ran twice, and then he
Cite
ended
your
up having
source.
brain surgery.
You know what? I pulled the source, and unless you have a counter evidence to prove me wrong, your claim is null and void.
No, it's just that you don't live in reality. You have to understand. There's no
I don't
proof
live in
showing
reality.
He actually stuttered until he was old as dirt, and
Brother,
his surgery results into dementia.
Hold on, be quiet.
His
be quiet.
surgery
Listen,
results into
quiet.
dementia.
Shush. You live in Roosevelt. You're like 15 years behind the rest of us. You live in Trump country. You live in Fox News country. I
don't watch
promise
Fox
you
News.
that the people that you're talking to right now are not the ones that aren't educated on this. You literally are just shouting. Every time I search one of your claims, do you know what the source is? Facebook.
I haven't been able to use Facebook. since 2021.
Wherever you're getting these sources, the original source is Facebook. You're just repeating shit that
No,
you've heard,
you're not even
and you're
looking
saying it
anything up.
so confidently.
You're
You haven't
seeing my
provided a
facts and then you
single source.
deflect.
You haven't cited a
what I
single
say, and then you-
source.
you
You
def-
haven't. Listen, pal.
you
Don't just
deflected.
talk over me when you get tired of hearing shit. I've given you tons of time to talk.
You
Don't talk over. Don't talk over me. Don't talk over me. Thank you.
I mean,
I
can do
You
this.
have a source for anything. Can you give me a source, please, for just any of these claims?
I think Biden was right. You guys don't know how to use the internet.
Can you give me a source? Stop calling other people stupid when I ask you questions and you answer with something not
Kamala
related.
Harris called you
don't
guys
get
stupid.
to call other people stupid the rest of the time while you're
Kamala
up here,
Harris
because
called
you
y'all
can't-
stupid.
No, we haven't talked
Biden
about
said
Kamala
you're
Harris
dumb.
yet. We haven't talked about Kamala Harris yet. I'm asking
Biden
you
said
to
you can't
cite
use
a
the internet.
source. Oh my God.
sick
This
pivot, dude.
unbearable is
Hey,
true.
booster shots are almost off the shelves.
Shushies.
Get your
Quiet. No, don't fuck with the microphone. Don't mess with the microphone. Nobody cares what you have to say. Okay, are you gonna be good? Are you gonna be good, or do we just gotta end it?
You just need to get your booster shots.
I've had two
You're
already.
exactly as smart as I'd expect somebody where you
Exactly.
live to be.
Exactly.
Like,
you guys
just-
can trust
you had
Pfizer,
no
a company that's been
evidence. I've
sued
proved you
for
wrong
$6
on
billion.
Pfizer.
You trust Pfizer.
You trust Pfizer.
I gotta now talk about the vax. Dude, you are literally like every person that grew up in Utah.
You guys are
like
literally the dumbest
Let me
people
tell
in
you
the
some
world.
more things about
You
your
think-
state. Everybody in your state, Jen, take care of him. Everybody in your state thinks that because people listen to you, because you've never dealt with any real adversity, that your opinion is valid. It's not. Your opinion's not valid. And you need to leave Roosevelt and see the rest of the world. You are literally a walking Facebook meme, just like shouting all the misinformation. And the reason that nobody laughs at you online is because these jokes, you just gotta get another booster shot, that's only funny around other morons. People who understand science are like, no, that's stupid. Of course you need another booster. That's how science works. But with your friends, they'll laugh at that. And you guys all sit around in the same room talking about how smart you are, not knowing that you're actually the dummies. You have no idea. You're the dumb ones.
Why are we still alive?
I'm alive.
I'm alive. 100 million people are still alive who didn't take it.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it was... Wait, do you understand what they do? What does a vaccine do? What does a vaccine do?
A vaccine is inoculation.
That's not a vaccine. What do vaccines do?
That is not
What do
a
they do?
vaccine.
What do they do?
They prevent you from getting the virus by giving you a small protein
it's not
of
true.
it.
No, it's not true.
Right. So
They
inoculation.
lower the risk of you getting the virus, and they increase herd immunity, so the virus can't jump from person to person. So the more people with immunity, the easier it is to kill off the virus.
Which turned out to be false.
What turned out to be false? The virus?
People were getting
It was a
sick.
false virus?
No, people were getting more sick from the shot.
No, there's no data to back that up.
Yes, there is. Nobody
give me
who
the
got
data.
the shot was sick.
Where's the data? Where's
consistently.
the data?
Nobody,
Where's the
everyone who got
data?
COVID over and
Where
over.
is your source?
Everyone
you
who
don't
got the
get to-
shot.
No.
Everyone who
Listen,
got the shot
'cause now
got
it gets
COVID.
dangerous for me. Jen, can you start muting? Now this gets dangerous for me. I can't let you sit up and put out misinformation. So if you are going to talk about the vaccine, I'm going to be way more strict than all the other dumb shit you said. You can only say something if you immediately follow it up with a source. Otherwise, we're not talking about this. It's not worth my platform being taken down for your misinformation. So if you want to talk about this, everything you say has to be backed up with a source. Is that fair?
Are you going to stop muting me?
Well, if you
just asked you a
cite
question.
a source, we will.
I
If
can't
not,
answer
you
a
can
question if the fucking minion is going to mute me.
I understand, but I just asked you.
Jen.
Are you
Not a Jen.
do you
Jen
agree
is
to the
muting
rules?
you, so.
Jen,
You can't
your
make any
order-
claims
your
without a
uterus
source.
is burned out from
No,
taking those shots.
brother, I'm not done talking. That was the middle of me asking you a question. Yeah, there it goes.
Bye.
That's crazy.
God.
That's crazy. Joe Rogan.
He wasn't going to cite anything. Everything you brought up had, pulled up that he was wrong. So
I didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Usually I can decipher it, but I was trying to put his sentences together and just be like, where can I find the source of this conspiracy theory? And it was always Facebook.
I mean, he was ping-ponging all over the place. I mean, he started out with that insulin, then he went to the fracking thing, and then he went to...
Is this thing on?
Nope, it's not.
Dude, you know what's
I
ridiculous
hear
right
you.
now? I can't hear you.
Shut up!
Stop
I
it.
swear to
Are you
fucking
serious?
God. I swear to God. What is happening right now? I'm losing my motherfucking mind.
I'm gonna mute. Here, I'll mute and see if we can unmute. Try to unmute.
Can you even unmute?
Oh,
Yeah.
what is going on? Say something. Motherfucker.
Hello.
I cannot.
Here,
Everybody
down
hears you
mute.
better than us. Get out of it. Pray. I don't know. I don't know if I talk to that guy. I like this guy here. Typical Democrat echo chamber. Yeah. Listen. Anybody's welcome up here. You just can't talk when everybody else is talking.
I sent you an invite. Dorset cheap.
I'll let anybody talk. I'll ask you questions about your views, but the problem is you guys get so upset when you say something and we ask you about it. You're like, "What the fuck? I didn't know I was going to have follow-up questions. I didn't know anybody was going to ask me questions." That's just it's because that's how you're used to interacting. You hang around with all your MAGA folks and you say something and everybody else thinks that too. So they're like, "Yeah, that's true." And then you stop. Nobody ever bothers to be like, "Hey, did anybody look this up?" I promise that doesn't happen in the MAGA circles. I've run in some MAGA circles. Nobody ever says, "Let's look it up." In fact, even in those circles, I'm like, "Here, let me show you a graph." And they're like, "I'm not looking at that shit."
Right. Well, and he was like, I'm going to enjoy my cigarette. I'll go get my laptop when I come back in.
I don't believe he has a laptop.
He
I don't
probably
believe he
doesn't.
has a laptop.
Probably not.
All right, my candle went out. Do you hate that when that happens?
Well, I have candles lit right now after my power went out. And it came back on. But mine are probably different candles than yours.
I gotta be honest. I really did with those fireworks. I did think somebody's pharmaceutical lab blew up in their home. That's what I thought for sure. Because then the fireworks were they weren't in rapid succession. Then I was like, no, is somebody shooting? What's going on?
All right, Brian.
All right, I can hear you.
All right.
Hello?
Yes.
Brian.
No, I know you're fucking with me now. You're a bad actor. I was born at night, motherfucker, but it wasn't last night.
thought you were fucking with us when you first joined.
No,
Les.
dude, I have no fucking idea. I couldn't hear you guys. He couldn't hear me. Chad could hear me the whole time. I don't know. TikTok just
No, I can hear
weird
you.
like that.
Yeah, it was Peapod J. He struggles with tech sometimes.
So did you boot that last guy, or did he get kicked?
I booted him.
You didn't like. You know what? It is kind of inappropriate to start talking about a woman's uterus, but that's just.
I mean, I don't want anything else to be in my uterus, so it's fine.
Hold on. Did I talk over him saying uterus? He said something about a uterus?
Yeah, he
right,
said my uterus.
right at the end, he was starting to get belligerent, and he was just about to say something. Like he had half of it out. I heard something about
He
something
said
derogatory
something
about
my
it.
uterus being shriveled up and what I don't care.
Yeah, dry. So
I mean,
whoever kicked him at the perfect time.
It was me.
Belligerent and halfway out sounds like something that's probably on his police records.
So what are you doing on at night here?
I didn't think that the audience the other day was going to be so great, and I'm like, hey, if you get to 300,000 likes, there was like 15 minutes left, and we were like 140. And I was like, if we get to 300,000, I'll do a weekend live. And then like, what if we get to 500,000? I was like, I'll do 2, and they got it so fast. Like I've never seen likes go up that fast ever, and it was they knew what they were doing, and they played me. So here we are.
Yeah, he thought he wanted to. I mean, he tried. He always likes to. Never goes well.
Got duped. So if you guys don't know Boston Brian, I call him Good HVAC. I like that name better.
What? Where
Why?
the fuck did that?
Why
come
you
from?
call him that?
Absolutely not.
Well, you're a plumber, and that's a thing that you do at houses, so I count that as HVAC.
Really?
I just count anything you do at a house as HVAC.
House technical?
Wait a minute. Do you need a license to be an HVAC guy?
Listen,
No,
I don't
I don't
know
think
the answer,
so.
but I've met Jeff, and that makes me think no. It makes me think.
Because
I don't think so. I'm familiar with California
there's 5 years of
construction.
plumbing school, and then more schooling if you want to be a master plumber.
Wait, plumbing school is 5 years?
Yeah, it used to be you could do it in 3 or 5 years, but like
Is there that much to go
you could go
over?
twice a week and get it done in 3 years, or you could do it once a week and get it done in 5. Now Massachusetts changed all the fucking codes around, and you can't do so many hours in a certain period of time, but you have to complete so many hours in a certain period of time. So you can only go once a week and get it done in fucking 5 years.
So it does look
Okay.
like it does require a license. It's a C20 license.
Boy, that license must be
It's
a
not,
low bar
It's not much, yeah.
to get HVAC. Wait, what's like the best plumbing school?
I mean,
They have,
there's
like,
no such thing.
prestigious
There's no
plumbing
such thing as
schools?
a best plumbing school. The thing that sucks is a lot
Mario
of them are on
Brothers.
the other side of the city. But I just so happened I got lucky, and there's one that popped up around here. It's like literally 12 minutes from me.
Yeah, I'd imagine that the place where there was the most plumbing universities is in neighborhoods where people talk like you. I'd imagine that's a good place.
Dude, they actually do it better down south. I'm telling you. So like my schooling is just fucking straight Massachusetts state code book. It's just
I don't know why I
don't
thought
see,
you did. In my
you
own
don't see
mind, I thought you like
tools or
working on mine.
nothing. You know what I mean? Down south, they do it right. They set up like a bunch of boilers in a row and a bunch of water heaters and like fake fucking bathrooms where it's like on a platform and you have to get underneath it and pipe up the toilets and shit. And they'll go around and
That's
they'll
amazing.
disconnect a wire on a boiler and you have to kind of figure out why the boiler's not working. You know what I mean? Like shit that you'll actually do on the fucking job site, not sit there and stare. My code book's got more dust on it than anything. I even pulled the fuck out once.
It's like
Boilers in plumbing? Or I thought that was in like HVAC stuff. Am I wrong?
What
Like a
part?
boiler room?
What part is it?
You said a boiler.
Yeah, boiler.
That's in plumbing?
Yeah, that's plumbing.
Okay.
If you have forced hot water, it's plumbing. If you have forced hot air, it's usually an HVAC guy or somebody that does HVAC.
Got it.
I like that they have like boot camp for plumbing. I love that idea. So you're saying if your plumber shows up and he's got like a southern accent, you might have got yourself a pretty good plumber.
No, I'm just saying they do good schools. Like a lot of people from the north will go down and go to the schools. You can see because they have magazines, the plumbing magazines. I think it's H something CC magazine that they always hand out to plumbers. You get them all the time, and they'll have all the the academies that you can go to, and they show how you really should set up a plumbing school. In my mind, you know what I mean, hands on, tools in your hands, actually doing the work that you're gonna do every fucking day. Instead of sitting in a classroom, trying to keep your eyelids from fucking seeing the other half of your eyelids. And it's ridiculous, monotonous codes and, measurements and math. And I'm terrible at I was good at math until they incorporated the alphabet. And then you lost me. You know what I mean? Like,
real quick. So, Gorilla, I
I'm
just
all set up. But as soon as it's like 10C, 40, you know what I mean? Stop adding alphabets. That's fucked up.
Wait, I need you to know something. That if you Google #1 plumbing magazine, and you click on the first link, it's not plumbing. it's patently not plumbing.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of websites where you can see people lay pipe that has nothing to do with plumbing on the internet.
It's originalplumbing.com. That seems like originalplumbing.bigcartel.com.
Is that the one where the guy's in the porn dressed as Mario?
No, this is I don't know it. Oh, it's Transmail Quarterly.
No, sir. My cousin is a prison guard down in Florida, and
there's some Lion King.
I swear I have to talk about a fucking.
Did you see what Kim just put in Discord? RTP Discord now stands for Riding the Pipe.
Did anybody look that up? Did anybody hit the first link?
It sounds like something my mom would say, like when she calls it pot. You see that shit on the interwebs about riding the pipe when the people are smoking the weeds?
My mom won't even say it.
Your cousin
she would never say weed.
From Boston. Those commercials are the best.
Wait, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Boston.
The Samuel Adams commercial. You have what? What are you living on a rock?
Bro,
Arizona, kind of the same.
There's not a lot of places that serve Sam Adams. I hate to break it to you. It's not a big beer outside of Boston.
It's okay. I can get Sammy's.
It's not big.
I mean, I've seen it enough.
I'm pretty
But
sure
I gotta tell you, I loved it.
I'm pretty sure he was in a Super Bowl commercial. The fucking asshole.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure there was. Is that what it was? It was a Boston Super Bowl commercial?
No, I'm sure it started off local and then fucking took off like that.
Just saying, I didn't know I liked it till I went to Boston. It is weird that at Fenway that was all you could drink. And what's with your beers? You have like 8-ounce beers.
First of all, you gotta say it right.
Yes.
There you go.
Fucking.
What do you mean 8 ounce? What the fuck is that all about? What are you talking?
At Fenway, they were the smallest beers I'd ever had. They were the tiniest little cups.
What do you have, giant hands?
Yeah, that's right. No, I was like, I said I want a beer. They said, you want 2? And I was like, no. And the guy's like, you want 2? And then I was like, I'll get 2.
Did you have too many? Is that why they only gave you a small one?
No, I don't know. Maybe
no. We call
that. Because I went to Fenway and you probably had too many. It was probably you.
No, they were my first ones. I only had 2.
Jen, we call that a rookie move at Fenway Park because he went to the.
Somebody just like fucked me over.
He went to the wrong
Probably.
stand. He went to the wrong stand. Is what happened.
I mean, did the person who was selling you beers?
Are you joking me? Are the beers not tiny there?
No, they're massive if you get them in the right spots. I mean, you're gonna go broke. You're gonna go broke getting drunk there, but they're fucking. You can get a big beer.
That's what I thought. They were still like $12. They were these tiny, like it was not more than.
They probably thought you were already intoxicated, so they gave you a small one.
That could have been that. Listen, that could have happened.
What kind of beer was it?
Well, I assume Sam Adams. That was the only thing that was on the tap.
Well, they might, because those are the fucking, they might do it different than Budweiser and Bud Light and like the other people.
They told me they said they only sold Sam Adams at Fenway.
Wait, you think that's the only fucking alcohol served at Fenway Park is Sam Adams?
Bro, I think I got scammed. I swear to God. I went up and I asked the guy, I said, do you have any Mexican beers? And he's like, no, we only serve Sam Adams at Fenway. I swear to God. Is this real?
How long ago was
Yeah, it was
this?
a draft. Thank you. Yeah, it was a draft.
This is fucking wild to me. It's a fucking major league ballpark, dude. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
It's not even legal.
I've never.
It's literally
I
against Major League Baseball fucking licensing laws for them to only sell one beer at these fucking parks.
I don't know, but if any park wasn't
Budweiser is literally a major sponsor of the fucking whole league.
This is honestly blowing my mind right now.
There's a huge. Wait a minute. Did you not see the huge Budweiser sign?
I don't remember.
The thing's about 60 fucking feet tall and about 300 feet long.
It was I was high, I think, when I got there.
That's what I'm assuming it was, is that
Maybe.
you had enough. They're like, you know what, let's just give him a small one. We don't want to be responsible for this.
Oh, that is fucking awesome.
That or
Hey,
you met
not only
with the concession person online and they were catfishing you there too.
It was the best.
I can see the guy now. Hey, look at this fucking asshole. Not only am I going to give him the small cups, I'm going to tell him we only serve Sam Adams.
You've been laughing about this for years.
Like,
Look at how high this
told-
motherfucker is. He's
Bro-
definitely going to believe it.
I've told this story to like 100 people about like I like in explaining like the feel of Fenway. You know how like if you've been to other parks, like most parks, they're not like baseball parks. Like there's others. Like if you go here in Arizona, like there's a swimming pool. There's like rides. Nobody's watching the game.
Yeah, it's an
But at
amusement
Fenway-
park with a baseball field.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's an amusement park with a baseball field.
Yeah, and that's like most. But at Fenway, like there's like it's not a
Tiny
quiet
spot.
respect. It's a very loud and obnoxious respect. But like they're there for baseball. So I've told people like how cool that experience was and how like they only had Sam Adams beer. And like I've joked that I was like, I don't know, like maybe everybody's just alcoholics in Boston, so they just give them smaller cups. Like that's all you can get. And then there was they were playing the Yankees that night, and we were on the first baseline. And like a little past, and Ichiro that's when he played for the Yankees. He was in right field, and there was just guy behind us that was just like, he was a massive, and he just every like couple minutes he go, "Hey Ichiro, fuck you, guy, fuck you." It's just like every couple minutes. It was the best day of my life.
I think that was my cousin Mike. Oh my god, I can't wait to tell my father.
Maybe they were trying to mess with the Yankee fans with the tiny beers.
So you spent $475 on a ticket to get scammed and only thought there was fucking Sam Adams?
Well, in all fairness, I didn't pay for my ticket. I was there. Somebody else took me to the game, so that was nice. But yeah, it appears like I got scammed. I've told this story to so many people.
Wait, your first
really
experience
fucking
at Fenway
embarrassing.
Park was a Sox Yankees game?
Yeah,
That's fucking wild, huh?
yeah.
That's pretty fucking
It
cool.
was we had our company had like some sales incentive thing, and then we got to go on it. So we went to New York, and then we took the train from New York. So we were in New York for 3 days, and then took that train, and then stayed in Boston for 3 days. The train was the coolest part. Trains are fucking unbelievable.
I used to take the Greyhound bus from upstate New York every weekend back to fucking Boston.
That doesn't sound unbelievable.
No, but
Yeah.
the stories,
No, the train was
the stories
cool, like-
that I could tell you on that bus are very unbelievable.
They have an open bar, or not an open bar. They have a bar you can just sit there and play cards. I wish there was more trains in this country. I wish Joe Biden would get on that.
Yeah, they just put a bunch in around here that connect all like the smaller towns to the MBTA. Like the fucking the ones that go up and down the coast to Connecticut and inside the city and shit. So it's
No,
it's
I have
easier.
no idea what you're
It
talking
makes it a
about.
lot easier for people that had to commute to Boston from the suburbs, which is just a fucking absolute nightmare. You know, you spend half your life in traffic doing that.
Yeah, that's how it's like trying to go to the Bay Area from here.
So now they just hop on a train. You know, they'll drive a couple minutes to the train station, hop on a train, and they can take the train right into Boston.
Boston's a weird city. I just remember thinking that when you design a city, like your road system shouldn't have this many triangles. Like, there's way too many triangles. If you were doing like a bird's eye view,
Bro, it was
it's
literally
a
the
real
first
weird
attempt.
design,
It was
man.
like the first attempt ever in this country of people building roads. Give us a fucking break, all right? All you got to know
It's
is
like fucking go that direction. There
if
was
you miss a
no
turn-
planning.
if you miss a turn in Boston on your way to something and you're somewhat late, just go home. Just call it a night because you are not making that fucking event. I'm sorry.
It's chaos.
It's
man.
not like you
absolute
just
chaos.
take the next street and you'll be all right. Not happening.
Yeah. It's crazy to be in a city that's small enough that you can walk, but because of the way the roads are designed, like you just can't. Like there's no direct route to anything. You just like you always have to take a detour and go back the same way you were coming. Like but on a
Downtown's not
different
bad
road.
for walking. Downtown Boston's awesome for walking. Like Faneuil Hall, those areas are fucking great for walking. The Seaport and shit.
Yeah, we were by the I think what was that park called that's down there by the port with all the restaurants, I forget.
Franklin Park.
Yeah, Franklin Park. We were pretty close to that.
Did you go to the zoo?
I didn't go to the zoo. I didn't know about a zoo.
Franklin Park Zoo.
I don't know. We just went there and then we went and ate. We never did anything in the park.
No, it's nice there. It's nice there. They got a nice. It's actually it's a better zoo than you'd expect, right in the middle of downtown Boston. It's like,
way less needles than the other ones. It's terrific.
no, that's Mass Ave. You want to stay away from Mass Ave. Yes, yes, thank you. He missed that sign
Yeehaw.
somehow.
Well, shut up, Jen. Shut up. I get it. Now that you
Yes.
say that, I remember
Awesome.
seeing.
Now
I
that-
definitely
now
remember
you
seeing that
That's
sign.
why they didn't give you
100%.
That's
That's
why they
weird.
didn't give you an adult sized beer.
Budweiser sold across the street.
One of the best things about that game is Saltalamacchia hit a grand slam walk off, or maybe just a home run walk off. I can't remember. But going to the bars after and just hearing everybody in a Boston accent say Saltalamacchia, like no, that name never sounds cool, but when it's a Boston accent, it's got some real pizzazz to it.
Saltalamacchia.
See how much better it was when he said it. It's way better.
I spent I think it was 21 days for a work training. They sent a bunch of 20 somethings to Boston for work training. It was a good time.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a shit ton to do. It just it's like any other northern New England city. It sucks in the winter.
I drank a lot. Other beers
That's what
aside.
happens. You know what? It just I don't know how it happens. Like even people that don't drink sometimes ever or often, when they come to Boston, next thing you know they're like arrested at the bar and in the drunk tank. It's like, what the fuck happened? Like, aren't you?
Well, it's 'cause everybody thinks it's
aren't
just
you a
legal there.
librarian?
It's kind of like going on a carnival cruise. Like when you show up in Boston, you're like, I better be tanked. Like I gotta
Yo.
fit in.
I will
You don't wanna be
never-
the only
I will
person on a
never
Carnival
fucking
cruise not
step
drinking.
foot on a Carnival cruise again. That shit's wild. That shit is fucking wild. Especially after you being on a Royal Caribbean cruise after. You're like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Carnival's fun though. You'll see some shit. There's a chance part of your boat will fall into the water. I think that's part of the charm.
Good. I'm good, Sam.
Yeah.
I'm good because you're trapped. You're trapped out in that motherfucker.
Listen, the internet has ruined ever going on a cruise for me. Like I've seen too many disasters now at this point. I'm just like, I can't do it. I don't think I can go on a cruise.
No, cruises.
I went on
Cruise is
one. It was
the
a
best
Disney
thing ever.
cruise. It was a lot.
Come to Trinidad Carnival. What is this?
No, if you're gonna take a cruise, take a Royal Caribbean cruise. Spend the money to do it right, and I swear to God, there's no way you will not have a good time. It's not fucking possible. You don't even have to leave the ship now to have a good time. The last ship I was on, when I was on Oasis of the Seas, it was the biggest ship ever built, and it was fucking 6,500 passengers or something like that. 20 something swimming pools, 20 something restaurants. I mean, things fucking ridiculous. They just came out with their brand new one. That's even bigger.
Look at this thing.
Not much. It's not much bigger, but it's bigger, and it's the whole design of it on the outside is totally different. So it's fucking.
That's a big ass. That is a big boat.
It's fucking enormous. The thing is, when it leaves, like we left Fort Lauderdale Port. I don't know if it does at Miami too, because I know the new one left out of Miami. But the fucking ship was so big that the water recedes out of the port as the ship goes by. Because of the draft of the ship sucking all the water out.
Just body after body after body in Miami. Just you don't want to see the bottom there.
But it's awesome. I mean, the people that I forget what they call them on there, but the people that take care of you in
Carnies?
The people that are waiting on you in your room, the people that are there to like serve you and take care of you for like 2 weeks or whatever. They are fucking the most amazing people ever. Like, literally, they, like, if need be, they'll come in and tie your shoes every morning because you're a lazy fat bastard or something. They're unbelievable. And, I don't know, it's just, there's so much to do on those things. And how can you beat...
Stewards.
How can you beat waking up in a different port every fucking 3 days? You know what I mean? It's fucking amazing.
I'm afraid. I don't want to be stuck.
Yeah, what are the fucking, let's go through the statistics they have. How many cruises have left ports in this country and how many have, like, actually had issues on them?
Like, Brian, I know we've been friends for a little bit, but, like, we don't talk a lot about our life. Like, if you know anything about my life, I will choose the wrong cruise. Right? And everybody else will see it coming, and I won't. And, like, that's the problem, is if I'm any part of the decision, I'll somehow find the cruise that's like, we're gonna see what happens if we fill up half the boat with water on this cruise, and I just.
But that's why you don't do it yourself. You know what? There's actually it's crazy. It's crazy, Jay. There's actually a whole fucking profession dedicated to make sure that you.
Yeah, but I'll get the dumb one. I'll pick the dumbest person. It would be like that same guy. It's just like I went to the wrong place at Fenway. He'll just be like, I'm gonna fuck with whoever the next person that comes in here is, and then I'm 100% coming in next, and he sends me on a cruise to like Sacramento somehow. I don't even know. Like you go from LA to the coast, and then you take a Greyhound bus into Sacramento. Did you love your cruise? Yeah, I loved it. It was great.
San Francisco. Yeah. Come on.
I took a Carnival cruise, and the ship fucking caught fire before the cruise before I was supposed to get on the bastard. Out of San Diego, and like literally 3% of the people that were on that cruise that booked that cruise got to rebook a cruise for the same time frame, like so that your trip didn't get fucked up. Luckily, we were one of the ones that got. So we literally towed the boat into San Diego Harbor, and we had to sail past it going out of San Diego Harbor. It's all charred up in the back. We were like, "What the fuck is going on?" You
know, they just put up some discounted rates though, and sent that boat 3 days later, right?
It was
they turned it from a 7-day to a 4-day. They just put duct tape around it. It'll be fine, guys.
You're lucky you would probably go meet some woman on the cruise and.
I couldn't sit in the dining room for some reason though. I kept getting nauseous in the dining room, and I grew up on boats and shit, so I don't usually get seasick. So I was a little surprised at that. I had to do like the little patch behind your ear type thing.
Little bitch patch, we call it.
Exactly. That's what
the
I
cruisers call it.
I bet the patches are better than being nauseous.
I said, garçon, do you have one of those beach passes, please? For the back of my ear, I am getting very nauseous.
It works, though. It works really good.
No, actually it did, but it kind of made me tired and sleepy, so I was like, I could have done that anyway.
I was thinking I didn't know if it was that or like smoking and drinking 24/7 that made me tired and sleepy. It was one of those two things.
You know what? I was fine in the casino. No problem in the casino. It was just that fucking dining room.
Oh, they're pumping oxygen into those.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Whatever they do.
That's what they do in Vegas. I don't know if you can do that on the sea.
No, I'm sure they do because you have smoking in there, so I'm sure they have to have a huge filtration system and shit.
Do you want to tell Jay more about your experience with the one and only Eric with a K?
Oh yeah, that's what this was about. Yeah, tell me about your night with Eric with the K.
Who the fuck is Eric with a K?
Mr. Snoop Dogg in the Hood.
Oh Jesus Christ! That was his name?
Yeah.
He's a really good friend of mine. We're super close.
No, it was basically Eminem all grown up telling us how he grew up on the other side of the tracks on 8 Mile, giving us the rundown on why, basically Snoop Dogg's recent comments are going to be the most influential thing that comes out of this 2024 election cycle. Basically just going to sway the entire country to vote for Donald Trump because of, Snoop Dogg and Death Row Records, basically.
What did Snoop say? Nothing but love and respect, right?
That's honestly, as far as I've seen, I've only seen the little headlines and little snippets. That's as far as I don't know if I'm sure there's more context to it, but I haven't seen what it is.
That and he was going on and on about something that happened in 1994 with the Clinton documentary of some kind.
That'd be pretty fucking wild though if he was right. If Snoop Dogg just like swayed half the country to just all of a sudden start loving Trump, that would say a lot about Snoop Dogg's power. This is a real test. Who has more street cred, Snoop Dogg or Taylor Swift?
Yeah,
it's the battle we've all been waiting for.
Exactly. That wasn't on the 2024 bingo card. Snoop
and then
versus
maybe they'll do a song together.
Well, like I said, I think I kind of hopped in the middle of the conversation last night, and they was that what the conversation was before? Was Taylor Swift the part? I don't even know what the fuck. He was just going off trying to tell me like he was basically explaining rap to people, and I'm just like, all right, I'm not having this. Like,
and then the pledge of allegiance 2 different times.
Like if he told me, in all fairness, I haven't said the shit since the 3rd grade, and I tried stepping up and saying it like a fucking moron, and I got to like the last fucking 3 words, and I was like, and the rest of the shit, because I couldn't think of it. I couldn't think of it. I could not think of it.
$150 sweatsuits and.
No, but if that motherfucker...
is that what Eric's rolling in?
If that motherfucker told me Snoop Dogg was in NWA one more fucking time, I was going to snap. I was going to fucking snap. Lose my shit.
Yeah, he was in NWA. He was Eazy-E, and then he grew up.
The founding member. And then he's like, it's like, oh my God, he founded Death Row. He's like, he did not found Death Row. It's Dre, DOC, Suge.
The end of our conversation the other night, he said, out of nowhere, he goes, well, do you have 3 terabytes of videos that you've made?
Wait, you know the fucking guy?
What? He was on, no, this was on a live. We were talking about Trump. We were just talking about Trump, and he's like, do you have 3 terabytes of videos on your hard drive? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I've made 3 terabytes worth of content, and you call yourself a content creator. I was like, no.
He was like, no, that's what he said. That's what he was saying.
And
I got 3,500 videos on my phone.
Yeah, he said it to you?
And I was like, what the fuck? So I asked him, I forget what I asked him some specific question. Like, okay, I asked him what is the process that asylum seekers actually have to go through when crossing the southern border? Because he was talking some bullshit. And he didn't know. So
he knows this one.
So I was like, wait a minute. So none of those 3,500 videos in your phone actually explains to you the process, but you're coming on here yapping your jaws? And he's like, no, I watched a 20-minute fucking video. I do know. So I was like, okay, explain to me the process, exactly what they have to go through. Well, you don't know, and it's like, what? And he'd like answer a question with a question type thing, and then he went to go show us his like velour baby fat fucking sweatsuit collection in his closet, and he must have realized that his closet looked like fucking ass because he pretended his phone died. Oh, my phone died. Like he went to go show us his fucking 2003 jersey collection.
Well, he for sure has a set of like bedazzled sweatpants that say "bad bitch."
Like he definitely has a Nelly. 100%. He definitely has a Nelly
juicy
in his
across the butt.
He regularly says it's getting hot in her, on a first date.
Right.
Oh, he also went on about being vaccinated blood, that his friend sells blood that it's valued more. Yep. It's valued more if you're not vaccinated. Then we had to explain to him that you can't sell blood. Yep, it's plasma, and that blew his mind.
No, you know what's crazy? That's probably true. Because there's so many stupid people that there's probably people who are like, I'm only accepting non-vaccinated blood for any blood transfusion. And then somebody will Alex Jones will create a business out of it. And he'll be like, get your unvaccinated blood over here. Yeah, $5.99 goes to help a good cause. Alex Jones, non-vaccinated blood, $5.99.
But so the whole thing was we were explaining to him that it was plasma, and then Nemo explained that the blood is extracted, it's put in a centrifuge, the plasma extracted from the blood's pumping back into the body. And I asked him, I said, since you don't really trust 99% of the world's scientists and doctors and people that, actually said this was safe, why would you, how do you know they didn't put something in that blood and then pump it right back into your bloodstream. Do you know what I mean? Like, why do you trust them to only take the plasma out and not put something back in there and then pump it back into your friend's bloodstream? I don't get it. If you don't trust them enough to take the vaccine, if you don't trust them enough to listen to the, the scientific evidence and the scientific research that's been done for years on this, then why the fuck would you trust them to stick a needle in your body, take the blood out, suck out the plasma, and stick the blood back into your body, not knowing? Could there be a chip in there? Maybe there could be a chip in there.
But don't worry. His son is going next week to do this, and he's going to video it.
That's what he said. That's what he said, my son. I almost shit. And I was like, what?
Suck out the plasma, stuff in the asthma. That's probably how we got asthma.
So
Big
he'll send
Pharma.
us that
Thanks,
video
Big
and
Pharma.
probably one of his VHS tapes from the 49. Was it Best Buys or what stores was it? And
I don't
he
know,
said it
but-
on both.
I don't know, but I want to know what was what he recorded over when he made those tapes. Whatever is on the tape, I would like to see what was on there before he recorded over it, because it's going to be.
He was like, I could send you a DVD. I was like, you know what? It's unfortunately I just threw out my Laserdisc player. I can't accept any of your gifts, sir.
I kind of want it. I'll buy a DVD player to watch his movie.
I lied though. I still have a half VHS, half DVD fucking unit.
When those
think I
rates
have
finally come down,
I'm going to hold on to it for a few more years. It might be worth something.
I mean, I think in my I've got a Pathfinder. I think my Pathfinder you can play DVDs in like the headrest. I've never done it, but I think I have one.
I'm going to be taking it out in like 30 years, showing my grand. This is like a typewriter. We used to use these.
He's gonna be like, Grandpa, we have the fucking internet. You don't have to show us things. It's like nothing's gonna surprise kids anymore. They're not gonna be like, I've never seen that. It's like everybody's seen everything. If you ever think about that, like, what are you gonna tell your grandkids? It's like one time there was COVID. We locked down for 2 years. They're like, yeah, I watched a Netflix documentary about that. I know more than you know, and they probably do know because the documentary was new and we'll forget stuff. I don't think being a grandparent's gonna be great.
No, well, wait until your daughter gets a little older, because she's talked some trash to me about different pictures. She's like, you used to look like this.
I want a fucking kid.
Something roast you for fun.
I do.
I want a kid, man. I just can't.
I do.
Gotta get a kid.
I want to throw a ball around with a little dude.
Why don't you have
Fuck.
a kid? I got books and stuff that can show you.
I've spent 38 years trying to figure out how to fucking take care of myself, dude. You shitting me?
Okay, I'll just make sure you knew the process of making one. That wasn't the.
That
I mean, he could use
I'm about as good as an
whatever
Irishman
you
can get.
Googled on plumbing could help.
So what do you think? You're gonna have a kid?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm having for breakfast. The fuck?
Brian doesn't dare to throw rocks at buses.
I bet it's not a baby.
I would love to have a kid. I would.
Somebody, anybody in the chat giving one away?
Oh, stop it. I'm not even single, you asshole. Don't get me in trouble.
No. They'll just give you the baby.
That's
somebody
fucking
giving a
wrong.
baby away?
That's more wrong than the last thing I said.
I was given away. I can make that joke because I'm adopted. I get to make that joke. Nobody else can make insensitive jokes about being given away. I can.
So what are we talking about politically?
I have no idea.
We just had I came up to see if Jay figured out his mic issue, and then we had that awesome guy that wanted to talk about my uterus for after he got owned. But I mean, that's all we've had. So
yeah, and I got 28 more minutes. I did. Did you read the new border bill yet, Brian?
Have I read it?
Yeah,
I've seen the outline of it, and I've seen the main points of it. I haven't.
The Chris Murphy thing?
Things. What is it?
The Chris Murphy breakdown.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
was,
This whole fucking thing is just, it's amazing how blatant the GOP can be and still get away with it without, the entirety of the mainstream media being like, okay, guys, like, you just a month or two ago said that we can't do anything about Ukraine until we do something about the southern border. Here we go. We got a bipartisan piece of legislation that's going to give you what you need, or at least some of what you need to help on the southern border. And now you're sitting here obstructing that because the twice impeached, 4 times indicted, 91 count having pea grabbing, sexual assaulter of women, bankrupt businessmen, and morally corrupt asshole Donald Trump is fucking telling you what to do on the sidelines. You know,
His middle game it's so hard, and you nailed it. You nailed his entire middle name. That was great. Yeah, I was looking over it. What I was shocked to be like, not shocked, but what's amazing is when you read this breakdown, and obviously we'll have the text. I think the text is available, right? But we don't have it, or I haven't read it yet. But it's amazing how quickly like right wingers have picked this apart in order to say that it's literally nothing, because that has to be their argument now at this point. Like, now there's stuff, it's on the table, it shows exactly what we would do, and they now have to convince their voters and independent voters that what this bill actually was nothing.
well, do you know what I would do as the Democrats? I would throw every fucking piece of legislation you have lying around that would help the American people into this thing, and then make the fucking Republicans say no to them. You know what I mean? Like, if you know they're going to say no to it, throw a bunch of shit in there that is fucking just really good for the American people, and make them come out against it. You know what I mean? Like, just stack that shit.
I thought what they could do to offer to sweeten the pot for like these MAGA folks they won't get on board. I thought maybe if in the agreement they agreed like 1 day a year we will teach flat earth in school. And I think the MAGAs I think that would be enough for them to get on board with virtually any bill. If they could just like for 1 day teach flat earth once a year at school.
This is the one from the Senate Appropriations Committee. Is that the one we're talking about? I sent you the text. I just found it. I don't know if you saw it before.
Yeah, I'm reading it.
I don't know. I think we're good with just a convoy. I mean, 700,000 trucks.
Right. What the fuck are they doing? What is the convoy for? Have you ever figured it out? They just drive down and honk their horns and shit. It's like,
no, it's great. I love when 700,000 fucking rigs turns into 17 fucking trucks in a handicapped minivan with a Trump flag on it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great. No, they did a great job. Thank God Ted Nugent was down there.
Yeah. Ted Nugent will show up for anything. We got 7 diesels coming. Fuck yeah, I'm there. Nope. Sign me up.
But the price of gas.
Yeah. But like,
we had a good idea last
I don't understand the people who get excited. They're like, we're doing a trucker convoy. What are we doing? Going to the border. And then what? Nothing.
Well, there was
we're
a
just
good
driving
idea,
down there, and we've got to probably find we got to find a Walmart parking lot that we can all fit in, and we'll just fly Trump flags.
All fit in a
awesome.
Walmart parking lot, dude. They could fit in the parking lot. They could fit in the fucking McDonald's drive-through with the amount of cars they have. Are you shitting me? And they wouldn't even cause traffic.
Nobody even notices them.
No, not even close. But there is a good clip. I forget if it was CNN or what was it, but they were interviewing some lady, and she was part of the convoy, and they were asking her, okay, now that you're down here, like, what is it what you expected? Is it not what you expected? And she said, fucking honestly, it's not what I expected. It's not as bad as what I thought it was going to be, and that's like kind of, she said it's pretty eye-opening, you know what I mean? Whether it didn't sink into her brain enough for her to be like, okay, maybe I'm on the wrong side of things and I'm being duped by the other side and being shown fucking clips from 2 and 3 years ago and making it look like it's, this year's fucking immigration pattern, and then somehow being led to be like beyond all belief, somehow afraid of an invasion of people on foot. Like you're scared. You're calling it an invasion of people on foot in sneakers, in jeans, with backpacks, with the kids on their back, with no weapons, no vehicles, no tanks, nothing fucking aggressive of any kind. Yet the United States in the strongest military on the face of the earth is somehow afraid in calling this an invasion. Like, if I'm embarrassed. Like, if I was in countries, I'd be fucking laughing at us. Like, look at this. Look at these fuck. First of all, they're lined up in a single file line to be processed, so they can come in here and do things the right way and be fucking, and have all their paperwork done, so they can have a meeting, so they can go through the asylum process, be told what to do, where to go, that whole shit. And somehow you're afraid of these people. Like, the videos they show is ridiculous. When you have a Republican politician on Fox talking about an invasion Caucasian and fucking military-aged men and then to the left of them, Fox News is showing clips of like little kids playing with each other, like moms and families sitting there feeding
like starving,
kids.
eating a peanut butter sandwich.
But the thing is, the politicians
Yeah.
don't know that shit's being played. You know what I mean? So it's like either there's a huge resistance movement in the fucking Fox News fucking production room, and they're just trying to make these politicians look like assholes, or they just don't know better. Because it happened on RSBN too when Trump was having his stupid town hall where he couldn't fit his fat ass on the fucking stool fully. When he was trying to talk about how dangerous these people were, and they were playing clips right next to his face, same thing. Fucking same 2 clips all the time. It's like Hunter Biden's laptop. So much information came out of that supposedly. So many fucking photos came out of it. Why are we seeing the same fucking 3 photos then? Huh? Why are we seeing the same 3 photos of the fucking of the migrants walking towards the fucking border? And here's another point. Fucking
How did you get a picture of Hunter Biden down there with the pictures of the
another point?
migrants? How did he
Genius
get in
Donald
there?
Trump decided to build a fucking a wall where I might remind people that we didn't need a wall because the terrain is so rough and fucking unmanageable that people weren't traversing that land to get into our country anyway. So there was no need for a border wall at that point. So what Trump did is he put a border wall. What do you need to do to build a border wall? You need to build an access road to get all your machinery, equipment, materials to the site. What happens when you build an access road on both sides of the fucking wall? You then pave a fucking golden trail for these people to roll their fucking suitcases up to the border, where before it literally land that you needed to be fucking Bear Grylls to get across. You know what I
They're
mean?
showing up in fucking Heelys now and just scooting their way.
Right, it's a fucking beautifully paved highway straight to the fucking border. I mean, is anybody
turn it into a nice walking path?
Is anybody not picking up on this? Like, that's literally what he had to do. You have to build a road to get your equipment, men, machinery, materials to the site, and then they left, and the road still exists. So there's now an access road on the entirety of the fucking 56 miles or whatever that.
You know they don't think that far. That's
it's
too
fucking
logical
ridiculous.
to go to those next steps of the whole thought process. It's just illogical to get there.
Looking back, like, if there was an alternate reality where like he could get his things that he wanted done accomplished, I really am curious what a Trump wall would have looked like if like they just told him yes to everything. Like, you would just have this, like, it would say Trump every, like, 500 feet, right? He would have letters on the top every 500 feet. It would be painted gold, which would be pretty cool. That'd be like, I'd actually want to go see the border. Like, he could have turned it into something great. I don't know if maybe we slept on that idea.
Well, no, there's a reason why he continues.
It.
He's put in his new speeches. He's put in his recent speeches that, you know, how he it was the Border Patrol's design for the wall. Have you heard him in his recent speeches? How he makes it very clear that it wasn't.
Yeah,
he wanted something.
He wanted
different.
a big, beautiful one.
Right. He wanted something completely different, but he went with what the Border Patrol said would work. What he's doing there, he's passing off the blame because the fact that his fucking wall doesn't work onto the Border Patrol, because he's now saying it was their design. So if it fails, if the wall doesn't work, don't blame him, blame Border Patrol. You know what I mean? So
and everybody who's great with real estate, everybody knows the first rule is always accept a plan that you don't trust. That's what they always say. Just blindly trust people when you have a plan like that. Of course, that's what Donald Trump's gonna say. Like, this is the one thing that
Isn't
you're
that
like,
the first step of bankrupting a casino?
Yeah, this is the one thing that he actually should be able to do, right? This was the only part of when he ran for president, he was qualified to do what? Like, put up some walls, right? That's literally all he's ever done. Like, he's just like, he's paid for walls to go up, and he figured out how to get walls to go up. That was the one thing he was uniquely qualified to do, and then Border Patrol's like, it won't work. He's like, fuck it, do yours then. I don't know.
No, well,
Just
honestly,
let it go.
Jay, what is the last structure that Donald Trump is responsible for constructing himself?
Well, I know that Eric was pouring concrete out there. I've heard him say it. So I think Eric and Donald probably did the trusses and all the concrete work themselves. It sounds like.
No, they get a bunch of people together with money. They have real engineers, real architects, real fucking people to come, real planners to come and do
No,
the
that
building.
doesn't line up with
And they
what the
come and
Trumps are
slap.
saying.
They come and. Why do you think he's always talking about carpets and curtains?
Listen,
and
I've
fucking
seen
lampshades
pictures
and
of
shit?
him with plans laid out on his desk. What do you think he was doing with those plans? Posing for a picture? No, he was
Excuse me.
That was
Those
just
were
that was
those were
blank
classified
paper. There was
documents.
nothing on
Actually,
those were
at all.
classified documents.
those were
apologies.
blueprints. The blueprints
I've
were.
seen it.
The blueprints.
And
were in the other
Eric said, I was out there. I was working with the crews. That's what I do. I work with the crews.
Yeah.
It's like talking to a lot of magas. It's like if I imagine
It's like
Jay,
any
when
small
your daughter
family-
tells a story. It's like
Man-
starting out. Got some water, and then something happened, and then I had to go to the park. It's like all over the place with no logical line of reasoning for any of it.
What the Trumps?
Yeah, just talking to.
Well, they don't do anything. Literally,
No, they're truth.
like,
They're
all right,
truth
think of
tellers.
this. Think of how like ridiculous of a person you have to be to take a loan from a bank that you know you shouldn't get in the first place, right? You lie about your net worth to get a loan from a bank, right? It comes due for you to pay that loan back. You don't pay the loan back. The bank insists you pay it back. You then sue that bank because they gave you the loan in the first place when you shouldn't have
Yeah,
gotten
it's
the
their
loan.
fault. They shouldn't have been doing that.
Like, hello? Like, what? And then the bank literally has to fucking concede the fact and just forgive the loan. It's like, and then what he does is
Hey,
he'll take
he's
like,
a brilliant businessman, dude.
oh, stop
brilliant.
this. He lives on other people's money. Like, literally, when you have to go around and try to sell yourself to the NFL and bring around a fucking Forbes magazine as your fucking credibility, like, that's what you're doing? You're walking around the fact that you made Forbes magazine's list as credibility on why you should be able to buy an NFL football team? Like, get the fuck out of here.
You know what I heard? I heard that there's a book that's supposed to come out, but Trump tried to delay it so it doesn't come out until after the election season.
No,
but
mine comes out.
But I heard a reason. Yes. No, that's only for his voters. But there's some book, and apparently they found the journals of Ronald Reagan. And when Ronald Reagan was talking about welfare queens, he was talking about Donald Trump. That's what I've heard is coming out in this new book. That he was the welfare queen.
I don't know. The whole thing's crazy.
Do
And it's
something
like
with that.
the fact that pretty much an incumbent can only get 50% of his party to like him when he won with, 96% of the vote in his party is pretty astonishing to me. And you can still think that he has the same popularity. But then again, most people are outside his rallies, so we don't get to see, the big crowds are outside.
It's packed outside the rallies. He's doing great.
Yeah.
He's doing really well.
The vendors are killing it outside. Inside,
Unless they mess up the camera angle and you can actually see what's behind the camera and know it's actually there.
Well, that's funny you say that, Jen, because I was listening to James O'Brien on LBC, who is a British broadcaster.
I'm more of a James O'Keefe, but James O'Brien's okay.
James O'Brien's the best. I listen to him every day. He's a fucking shit.
He really is.
Brian
the best.
sounds like he's from like Boston, so I mean that.
He's honestly the best radio host, like political radio host on earth.
So, and he was talking about the time, he was kind of going back and talking about how astonished he is that Donald Trump is even still in the political sphere and how ridiculous it is and, the shit that he's done in the past. And he's talking about, like, how just ridiculous it is for Donald Trump to even be in contention right now because he had cameras outside of one of his events. And he's watching on one monitor the Trump talking, and he's talking about how many people are outside. And on the other monitor are his cameras outside the actual event. And what he's looking at is like 3 or 4 people outside the place. And he's just like, how is this possible? Like, how can he literally sit there and say that when I'm looking at my camera? He's like, it's astonishing. It really is that, like, nobody calls it out. No media is like, well, he's saying this inside. But clearly, as you can see, there's nobody outside. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know.
We watched one the other night. We watched one the other night in New Hampshire, and he came in, like, the town he was in only had, like, a population of something like 10 or 15,000. And he walked in, and he comes up, and he's just like, oh, wow, look at this, it's packed. Everybody through the doors, you should see what it looks like outside. And then he just moved up. Like, that's how he started it. It was like, there's no way you have a crowd outside.
I love when he actually denigrates his own fans right in front of him. Like when he talks about his dementia test, and he's like, only 2% of this crowd would have got it. Only 2% of this crowd would have passed it.
All you motherfuckers have dementia. Sorry.
But it's like, I mean, his supporters believe anything that he tells them. It's
Wait,
wild.
no, he's not wrong about that number. He's 100% right about that number. Have you seen his crowds? There's no
stop
chance.
it. I've actually held that test. You'd have literally. There's no winning on that test. The winning is you get to say you don't have fucking dementia. There's not like you get a perfect score and you get to brag about it. This is literally like, okay, you pass this, you're not having a fucking a midlife crisis like issue that you definitely have to deal with for the rest of your life. There's no like, oh my god, I passed this. Woohoo!
My grandmother had dementia, and I've talked to David. And I'm telling you, maybe David is like tougher than dementia. Maybe that's a tougher thing to overcome because, like, she made sense sometimes.
Well, he didn't start off very well when he named only 5 things when they asked him to name 6.
That's
Well, it's like when you
one of
get
them twice, didn't
a
he?
sucker after a shot. It's the same kind of equivalent. Oh, you did good. Here's your sucker.
No, you know what? I almost hate to say it, but I almost have to give the guy fucking credit. Like, the fact that he's still, like, I don't know. Like, it has to weigh on the fucking guy at night just how much is, like, I don't know, just how much shit he's actually in and, like, what could possibly happen to him if things go bad and, things go the way that the evidence shows it could possibly go. Like, and then to be doing the rallies every day.
Their entire personality, like David.
He's old,
committed
man.
So hard.
He's old. He doesn't take care of himself. Like I'm surprised it hasn't. Like, I know we've seen more of a decline in the last, say, month or two out of him, where it's becoming more and more apparent that his age is catching up with him. His whatever stuff that he takes is catching up with him. His lifestyle, the way he eats is catching up with him, and it's just his mind is not. It's just not sharp anymore. Not that it ever was sharp, but
he doesn't have the medication.
It could poke.
He doesn't have the candy bowl at the White House like he did before. So he has to run on some more. He's got to run on more of his own brain power.
Hey,
I'm just saying. I'm surprised you don't hear of more.
Hold on, real fast. I'm gonna open the box. The last 20 minutes. Anybody's welcome to come up and just shoot the shit. And you can ask Boston Brian anything. He promised he'll answer any question. No limits. Okay, what were you saying?
I forget. I'm stoned.
Listen, our Ask Me Anythings get out of control.
Oh, jeez. I haven't usually been on the box for those. Do I want to be over here?
Oh, yeah, you can ask Jen anything, too. Oh, that's a tough one.
I think some people are scared of me, so maybe not.
That makes sense to me. That actually makes perfect sense to me. Let me head over. There was something else I had brought up on Twitter I was going to talk about tonight. Now I can't find it.
Which thing on Twitter? Not the same.
I don't remember.
The border thing?
No. What was it?
There was a couple dumb things Trump said with his interview with Maria Bartiromo.
When did he do another interview?
I think she just put out a couple clips, and it's supposed to come out tomorrow morning, maybe on Fox Business.
Oh no!
But I
bet she was asking some hard hitting questions.
Well, he's just a fucking idiot. That's all there is to it.
He said Ronna McDaniels. He was nice about McDaniels.
No, he said she's done. Basically, he's gonna have to make some changes.
This is insane.
She was kind of busting him on, like, the amount of money that the DNC has and the amount of money that the RNC, compared to the money that the RNC has, where they're fucking, like, literally flipping their fucking couch cushions looking for change.
Listen to this. This is beautiful. This is a totally true story. Let's go.
They start to cry. They hug me. They said, you saved our industry, but now we're letting it go. Now, I have steel people that every time they see me, they start to cry. They hug me. They said, you saved our industry, but now we're letting it go. Now, I have steel people that every time...
There's people that work in the steel industry, and they're showing up every time they see him. They start to cry.
He sounds like that last guy that was on the live. He knows people.
I'm getting an echo. Is anybody else getting that?
No.
did you break now?
The problem is that it might not be steel workers. I can guarantee it, but he literally probably does have people that like run up to him and cry and hug and like drop to their knees and shit like that. Like those are the people that do follow him. Like, they were getting dunked in a cow tank down at the southern border to get baptized and like fucking reborn and shit. Like, this is, oh brother, where art thou?
Was that?
I mean, literally, you're dipping yourself in fucking fecal matter. Like, what do you think's on the cow's mouth?
Dude, I got to tell you, I have a friend that's like a fairly prominent professional golfer, and I just heard like a week ago that he has decided he believes in Jesus after giving it like 2 weeks of thought. And I just saw today that they signed him. He's a super MAGA guy too, so like he just believes things all on gut. And I just saw today he's out giving speeches at this political rally. It's like the Faith First MAGA political rally this next week, and I'm really excited to go see that. But like, he's been a Christian for 50 minutes, and they're like, "You're the fucking expert. Come on up."
Right. So he just found Jesus. How long before he signs to the Live Golf?
He's not good enough. So if he tweets at Live Golf Tour all the time, and they just ignore him, like they don't want him. He's not good enough. Like, he's not a name that, unless you're like a big PGA Tour person, you would know. He's not like a household name, so Liv doesn't want him. So, but he wants to be there so bad. He wants to be there really, really bad.
But good Christian at the same time.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've known him for a while. I wouldn't say he has like Christian values.
He spent all of 3 minutes putting money in the basket. He might as well spend the rest of his life taking millions out of the basket on the backs of,
That's a good point. I've said it before. If I ever get desperate for money, I'm just going to become a Republican, and I'm just going to start talking. I'll just do an impression of David, but I'll make the sentences make sense, and I'll be a billionaire.
Aren't you one of these guys that have like a sneaky fucking Republican account on here that you go on and harass people as a Republican?
I did, but I had to turn it back over as to like a backup account for this because I lost my main account.
You lost it? What, permanently?
Yeah, it's the weirdest ban. It was.
Is that why it says 2?
Yeah,
so
my
you don't
main
even
account,
have another? What the fuck?
Well, I've got it, but I can't go live on it. I'm permanently banned from going live.
That's weird.
Or it was a weird thing. I was telling a story.
I'm so surprised. I can't believe Rudy hasn't had that happen yet. Maybe it has, but I'm just saying with the topics and the conversation.
Is he still doing that? Is he still doing that Ukraine shit?
No, he's not. He's the Israel stuff.
Or that's what I said. What did I say? Ukraine? I meant Israel. Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's just. I mean, to each his own. No, I'm not knocking him for whatever. But I mean, I don't. It's weird that with the type of conversations that happen, especially on that topic.
That's such a toxic. It's not. They're never good conversations. Like those are. It's like a toxic debate place. I hated that. I thought it was the worst.
Well, it's because you got 6 or 7 people ready to jump down your throat as soon as you get into the box, and you can't make any points against it, or else like they automatically go right to the worst. Like you might as well be in the back of H-Man's Mercedes-Benz 6-wheeler because you don't like seeing innocent men, women, and children being. he's hard to understand. Like, he's such a bizarre Democrat. His views are so strange for being a Democrat. It's
but he wasn't.
It's like a Christian
his wife's a
Democrat.
Trumper. His wife's a Trumper. It's borderline.
I didn't mean to bring him up. We can change this.
That's a tough one. Is there any chance, Brian? You either been with your girl or you're married for a while, right?
I am not married, and
sorry.
But define a while.
What I was gonna say is I didn't need to ask that question for what I was gonna say.
This is what you do. You read people's like text messages that aren't supposed to be read out loud. It's what you do.
No, I didn't. I don't know anything about this. I'm just
no harm.
I'm just saying. Could you do that? That's a difficult bridge. Like, a Trump person is a tough bridge. Because if they know, like, if they can articulate why they like Trump, it's going to be really hard to take that person seriously.
I haven't.
Like,
I
he's
haven't
the only
in my direct
politician
family.
ever.
I mean,
Where, like, if you
just remember, I'm in Boston, so I'm surrounded by a lot of blue collar people, and when you're in the blue collar industry and construction and shit, you don't tend to run into a lot of, let's say, liberal minded folks swinging hammers and laying pipe and stuff like that. So it's tough when when you're kind of known for being the liberal guy on TikTok and you're showing up to these sites, and some of them may have seen the videos and shit. But I mean, it's just like,
Did they bring it up?
It's tough when they're in your family, because obviously they're good people. You've grown up with them your entire life. Obviously, you know what they're about before any of this shit even took place. You know what I mean? Before Trump even became an issue or politics became an issue. And it's like, so deep down that they're good people, which allows me to see kind of, I feel bad a lot of the times, because a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of energy has been spent by big companies and big donors to get these people to believe the shit that they believe. You know what I mean? So it's not entirely their fault. Sometimes all it takes is one wrong fucking click on the internet, literally. You click one fucking link, next thing you know, you're 4 hours deep into a rabbit hole you didn't even intend to go down in the fucking first place, and now you're believing that fucking Hillary Clinton's eating pizza with dragons under its
Well, a lot of them
salad
weren't political before, and so they've made it their entire personality for the last 4 to 6 years, and so it's almost like it's losing a part of them to go back to whatever it was before.
You're
so it's almost
absolutely
like
right.
I'm just saying, it would just be like, how could that type of relationship, not like just a friend, but like if you're gonna be in love with somebody, that would be a lot to overcome. Like if you're a Trump person, you're not just like, you're just not opposite of the left. Like, you don't have different political beliefs than the left. You have different political beliefs than like everybody, and like everybody ever, because you're in a weird cult where like you don't get to believe things that are facts. Like, the more true something appears to be, the less likely they are to believe that.
But you're missing a huge
I don't know
point.
how I would have a relationship with somebody.
You're missing a huge
that.
point of it. A lot of them don't even believe the shit. A lot of them are in this now and like the shit being said because it aggravates the people on the other side. Like, we have a lot of fucking what, again, James O'Brien calls footballification, which would call, fucking, what they're talking about soccer, we could talk about football, where it's like, just because... What are you, in a windstorm?
there is a big storm. Yeah,
So it's like it's like footballification. You go to these games with a jersey on for your team, and you're rooting for your team. And even if you see somebody in your team do something dirty, you're hoping he gets away with it, or if the ref does throw a flag, you're complaining about it, even though you know it was a dirty hit. You know what I mean? So just because it was against the other team that's wearing another jersey, you're still rooting for it, even though it might be a cheap hit or a dirty hit or something that's not legal or something like that. There's a lot of that goes on where it's like, okay, I'm red, I'm Republican. If a Republican says something, even if I don't agree with it, if it gets the other side to react, then I'm going to hop on that. I'm going to harp on it. I may not even believe the shit, but because it harms or, gets the other side to fucking, get all up in arms and shit, then that's what I'm going to roll with. A lot of these people don't believe in the politics.
Well, Jay, you remember that guy Joey you had? It was whatever day it was. I think it was the other day. So he was on Nemo's, and you schooled him on just about everything. He came up on Nemo's and Whispers last night, and he was, I think, Brian, you asked him would you vote, the essay cases and all that kind of stuff. What was his line? And he had none. More or less just doesn't care about the essay, didn't more care if it was, against kids or anything. Like, there was nothing that Trump could do that he wouldn't support just because it was
Trump. It was the old, what is the actual line in the sand? Like, why is the line in the sand for you not the fact that he's been found liable by a jury of his own peers of SA on a woman? Like, why? Like, how? Like, I think we went through the whole thing where, would you want, say if it was your local sheriff who was found liable for that, would you want him to still remain sheriff of your town? What if it was your local, your selectman, or would you want him to remain in there? Would you want your governor to remain in office if that was the case? Like, why are you giving Trump a pass? Why are you allowing him to cross that line in the sand? Your moral line in the sand that you have, drawn for, like, again, before Trump even became a fucking thing. I guarantee these people would agree that essay on a woman is a bad fucking thing. I mean, I don't think it takes much to say that. So why are you allowing this man to cross that line? Like, we forget about the cases.
I think
the Supreme
different.
Court
Like,
says. So
if you've accepted him as the person that's going to bring down the cabal, and like you've already deified him. That's how these people think, right? So it essentially, even when something bad does happen, even when he does something bad, they believe in him so much that they're like, there'll be an explanation later, and I don't need to worry about that right now. We just got to get him out of this trouble. There'll be an explanation. Like, that's why it's like it operates exactly like a cult. Because the stuff that's bad, like, you just put up the blinders. And if anybody ever convinces you that it's bad, you say something like, yeah, well, I think there's probably details we don't know yet, but he's going to expose that later. I believe he will.
Well, Jen said it perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These people, they've dug the hole so deep at this point. You know what I mean? A lot of these people have alienated themselves from friends, from family, from workers, from their job entirely, from their lives entirely because of this. They don't talk to the same people they used to talk to anymore. They don't communicate with their family. So it's like there's almost no turning back at this point. Like they've almost dug the hole so deep that their only chance of seeing daylight again is to keep digging down and hoping you reach daylight on the other side and just riding this thing out, hoping you come out on top. Like what is their alternative to say that they've been wrong about every single thing for the last 6, 7, 8 years? And you know, they've actually been following a guy that is dumb enough and crazy enough to back his fucking stupid ass into fascism. Like, he doesn't even know he's doing it. Like, how is that even possible? How can you be an authoritarian fascist and you don't even fucking know you're doing it? Like, you're not even smart enough to comprehend that's what you're doing, but somehow that's what you do. Like, you're so incredibly narcissistic that you just somehow back yourself into fascism because you don't allow people to tell you no, you don't allow people to tell you you're wrong, you don't allow fucking the free press to criticize you as they should. You attack fucking LGBTQIA members, you attack people of color. Like, this is like what is they literally running the same playbook that they did in the early 30s to get into power. It's just not with the same intentions on, you know, purifying a whole continent to be one race. They don't have that intention, but what they do have. Actually, I lied. I lied.
I was going to say,
I mean, the
gray area.
I mean, the things
Hold
that
on,
they
real quick. Galactic Macaroni, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah, I was just going to pile on with you guys, honestly.
Yeah, hop in.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I've been saying this in so many lives, but like, you know, the whole cult behavior, the whole like Christo-fascism thing, like it literally leads to frontal lobe damage. That's a big thing that's, I think, wrong with MAGA. That like not being able to think critically just for so long literally damages your brain.
I've heard that. Is there like studies to back that up? Is that a real thing? I've heard that like on Reddit, like in like mostly like religious debate forums. I've never looked into that. Is there some?
Yeah.
How do I find that?
I'll look it up for you real quick.
Anybody in the Discord too, if you have it.
They have been playing to the fear of, you know, the cishet white dude, you know, that they're going to be replaced, and that's the whole fear.
Yeah, that'd be fine. They're fucking boring. Get rid of them.
It just the fear. It's playing into that fear that, you know.
I think we ought to
have everything easy.
I think if the Republicans don't agree to the next border funding bill, then we just figure out a way. We're like, all right, cool, but the next one, because we're gonna kill in 2024. Then in that one, we're gonna add a provision where we can make trades with other countries, and we'll trade off Marjorie Taylor Greene. We'll get back like some coffee grinds or something like that. Something we could put in our gardens. Just a trade, something like that. I think that's got to be our next plan.
Hey, Mally.
What up, guys? How y'all doing?
How are you?
Hey, welcome.
Yeah.
Does anybody have that study?
So we'll have to ease Jay in. He doesn't necessarily like this group stuff. It makes him uncomfortable.
Don't ever say it like that again.
I got
like that on purpose.
They're a bit old, but biological and cognitive underpinnings of religious fundamentalism. That's in NIH, and then authoritarianism, religious fundamentalism, the human prefrontal cortex. And then one of them is from 2012 and 2017.
That's not that old. I'm reading this.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel like MAGA that was like, yeah, I'm qualified to do to read medical research on the vaccine. I'm definitely qualified to tell you what that research says.
Exactly. It's so crazy.
It's like you literally have to have certain qualifications just to be able to fucking decipher what is being said in those fucking medical reviews.
Well, the reading, sure they can read it, but the comprehension is what's lacking.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, you could read shit on space travel too. It doesn't mean you can understand how it's actually done. You know.
It's like with the
But I will
too.
I will listen to the astronauts when they tell me what is safe and what isn't safe. You know, when 99% of the astronauts are telling you something's safe or not safe, then I'll go with that.
This study. This is like a expansive study. Like I'm just trying to gloss over it. This is a massive study.
Hey,
it's kind of
you guys that just came in,
one
did you
visit.
guys know that Jay thought that Fenway Park only
Shut
sold
up!
Adams beer?
Fuck.
Hey,
You sure you were at the Fenway Park, bro? Like,
And it was only 8 ounces.
They only sold shots of Sam Adams.
I got scammed. It's not. Sorry, I was trusting. I guess the lesson is don't trust anybody from Boston. That's my lesson. I've thought that for so long too. This was
Hold
like
on, let me ask you a question. If you were to walk around New York City, would you just trust a random person in the streets of New York City?
no
If
one
I
There's
trusts
probably
anyone
like
from New
doorknobs
York.
in New York City.
Yeah, no,
We don't
I
trust
got
New
every
York at
food
all.
recommendation from people on the street in New York.
Food, that's different. What? You don't have to trust somebody for that. They just have to see if they're overweight or not.
I don't know.
Trust
Yeah,
them
no,
with it.
I think I believe people too.
I mean, if they're
easily.
overweight, it might be really good food, though.
Oh yeah,
I
that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got catfished for like 5 months, so I don't think I'm like great at not trusting people. I think I'm excellent at trusting people.
Yeah, because not
really good at trusting
FaceTiming with
people.
someone because they can't have a part
Shut
of their
up.
job makes
That's
so
the
much
thing.
sense.
The thing about it is shut up.
He trusts everything but his own eyes when he stares at a fucking 300-foot Budweiser sign.
That and 4 different AI photos that look like completely different people.
Like, that's strange. Why am I holding an 8-ounce Sam Adams and I'm staring at a big
I swear to
Budweiser?
Christ, this is the-
I'd really like one of those right now. Too bad they don't sell them here.
It's probably Apple.
Hey, Ichiro, go fuck yourself.
No, it's fuck you, guy. Fuck you.
You gotta add the guy on there. That's classic. Classic Boston.
Yeah, I loved that guy. That's so crazy. I
You
can't
fucking
believe this
hummer.
is not true.
You're a fucking hummer.
What if it was during October? I think the game. Do they only serve it in October? Oktoberfest exclusive.
Come on.
Isn't that for
stop.
German
You're
beers?
playing me
I
right
can't
now.
believe
You are
this happened.
playing.
This is one of the most. I've said some embarrassing things live. I think this is the worst. This is what I'm most embarrassed about.
Clip it.
You're like, hold my 8
I mean,
ounce
it's
Sam's
fine.
beer.
My
I'm gonna
Discord
put this.
clips
I'm
everything.
gonna put this on the
anyways.
Boston Mass TikTok page. This recording.
I've been screen recording. I've got it. So
No, honestly,
That's a
I wouldn't
nightmare
do
to
that to
be
you. You would
considered
literally
dumb.
have you might have to go incognito for a while if I posted that to the Boston Mass TikTok page.
I don't
maybe
think
just
anything-
hide his face so who he is.
I don't think anything could hurt my feelings more than knowing a bunch of people in Boston think like I'm the dumb one. Can you imagine being heckled by just like,
No,
hey, fucking dumb guy?
Could you imagine the city of Harvard and MIT thinking that somebody from Utah is stupid?
No. Stop pretending like you guys get credit for Harvard and MIT. No, you guys recruit. You're not. It's not like you go to Harvard and everybody's like, yeah, I'm also from Boston.
Well, Brian, does it matter
somebody
that
from
he lives in
Boston
Arizona
is
now?
at Harvard, you assume that person is like staff, but
Okay,
not.
so
like
why is it not Harvard of Utah?
What? Because wait, Harvard of you? That's Brigham Young
Why
University.
is
The
Harvard not in
Lord's
Utah then?
University. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He has a university, Brigham Young.
Well, I love how Massachusetts doesn't get credit for the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. That's a new one on me.
Can I ask you a question?
As long as it's not about anything that would have
Stop
to
lighting
do
your
with IT.
stop lighting your candle and ask.
I don't want you to make fun of this one. I feel like this one's reasonable, and I understand this question is a dumb question, kind of. But you know the song.
Do you though?
I want to know if that song from Family Guy was made up by them, or if it was like the Spirit of
It
Massachusetts
seems
song.
to me.
No, the Spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America, the spirit of what's old and what's new. Is that a Massachusetts song, or did they just make that up for Family Guy? It's a great song.
Was that written in like LA or
This
something?
is the spirit of America. The spirit
Stop.
of the red, white, and blue.
Stop it. Stop it.
Is that not a real song?
Wow.
You guys know that one? You don't know the spirit of Massachusetts?
Did the guy at the Sam Adams beer stand tell you that?
No, this is a real. How could I sing a song? What do you think? I made that up on the spot?
No. I know it's. They
Probably
sing it on the
done.
show. Believe me, they do sing it on the show. But do you think we just like people from Boston stroll around humming that all day? Or
This
like,
Is it a song or like
hold on,
like a
it's a
chorus?
banger. Let me play that.
I heard Boston's racist too.
Spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America, the spirit of what's old and what's new. The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America, the spirit of the red, white, and blue.
This is the only reason why.
Key change.
This is the only reason why I changed to Boston.
All right, so that's not a real Massachusetts song. That's devastating.
I mean,
That's
I
the
don't
only
know.
reason why
Like,
you went to Mass was because
Most of the things I know about Boston and Massachusetts don't appear to be true.
no.
All right.
I'd like people to explain to me how Boston's like simultaneously known as a liberal place, but also one of the most racist places on earth. Like, how does that fit?
Well, it's
How
that
do those
whole
two-
thing of
How
where
do those
you
two
know,
things fit together?
the founding
It's all-
fathers were, and I mean, I could see it.
You know y'all racist. You know you're racist. Like,
What is
You definitely-
happening?
Come on now.
What's going on?
You ever hear,
Boston is super racist.
but you ever see
How? Like, what is the proof of that?
every interview
just-
with an NBA player ever? If you Google NBA players talk about Boston, they're all like, yeah, they're racist as hell. Like that's like they all
Yeah,
say
y'all
it's
are
like,
racist.
common
can't-
knowledge.
Y'all
Come
are
on, you can't-
you know what it is?
Come
Why
on,
you
you
don't
wanna
see
talk
it,
about-
Boston?
you can't
It's
talk
because
about
you're
sports
passive aggressive. It's passive
You can't talk
aggressive
about sports
racism.
fans. At the sporting event's different.
No. Yes, no.
Well,
You
yeah,
guys are-
Everyone's got some internalized bias. Everyone does. So.
yeah. At the sporting event, I mean,
No, because you
Maybe
get a
some of that
congregation of
rage.
all. No, because what I'm saying is you get a congregation of a shitload of people. So what are the chances that in that shitload of people, 1, 2, 3, a couple of them are going to be fucking assholes? A big chance.
Okay,
So.
how many black neighbors do you have?
How many do I have?
Yeah,
3.
only 3.
how many neighbors do you have?
5 total. I live in an
That's
apartment
pretty.
building.
That's 60%.
60%. Okay, well, so you're poor.
I mean, are you trying? Are you trying?
Because Boston is super expensive to live in.
So how,
Well,
do those
you're-
two,
yeah,
how does that match up? If it's expensive
No,
to live,
what
how
I'm
can I be
saying
poor?
is, you can literally look that shit up. Boston literally is super racist when it comes to land. Like
To land?
like land. Like people owning land.
So, I
In what year? 1788.
I mean, if you could, I'm not on my computer right now, but RTP, look that shit up. RTP, look it up. Like Boston is super racist.
Like, what is this super? Like, why the super? Like,
Super.
what-
Why can't
what
we
is
just
this-
be regular racist?
What is the fucking super all about? Like, have we not been to any other city in this country?
You can we can
Like-
take the super off of it if that makes you
Good
feel
Lord.
better.
No, 'cause you
Racism
put
is
like a
racism.
fucking. I don't like super with the hard ER. If you really want to know. Like,
With the hard ER. I'm fucking with you, Boston. I love you, bro. Hell yeah.
God
But
damn.
Boston is very racist.
Almost fucking
I'm
ran
not
upstairs to my
saying anything that's
laptop.
like Boston is more racist than anywhere else in America.
But by what is the metric? You know why
Actually,
people
I
say
think-
that? Because people say that. That's why people say that. Because people say that.
Yeah, I feel
That's
like
the word on the street.
I think it's
I feel
just
like
like
maybe
old
some of
history.
it's also because of stuff people say. It could be a little bit of both. Could
No,
be
hey,
what,
do me a favor. Pull up a clip from maybe a Cleveland sporting event. Let's hear the audio from a Cleveland sporting event.
There's nobody there. You're just going to hear the coaches talking.
No, yeah, you're right. The dog pound isn't known for being one of the most extremely fucking hostile places to people of color ever.
I don't think it's a good defense when somebody says Boston's the most racist. You're like, what about Cleveland? Like, that's not.
So what I'm saying is,
maybe Cleveland's a little worse, but those are.
all I'm defending is the super. That's all I'm defending.
You Google it the first time.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be less. I don't want to be less or more than anybody. That's it. I just want to be equals.
We're not bad, but we have Sheriff Joe.
I'm not mad at you, Boston. I am on your side. I'm just letting you know where you're from is racist.
No, because obviously it is a talking point that people use that, I mean, I've heard for a long time in Boston, and I mean, if you're using sporting events as your metric, then what I'm going to say is show me a sporting event where that doesn't happen to a person. I mean, show me a sport that doesn't happen. Pull up a sporting event in England. Pull up a soccer game in England where a person of color is taking a corner kick, or you know what I mean. What do you?
I never brought up sporting events. I'm not saying that.
I'm not. This isn't directed towards you. I understand you. I'm not. Believe me, this isn't directed. I'm just saying the general statement that people have that Boston is a racist place. I mean, is there racism in? Absolutely, but I just don't think it's more or less than any other city or you know, towns and suburbs of the same size and the same demographic anywhere else. You know.
Yeah, I bet cricket has a pretty solid record on fans not being racist. It just seems like the type
because it has no fans.
A game
takes 14 days to finish. There's no fans.
It's like fucking Quidditch. It could just end when they 4 weeks from now.
Of course, we're gonna go to Harry Potter.
People run the Boston Marathon quicker than a game of fucking cricket ends. By like 3 days.
Hey, were you in Boston when they had like the bomber?
Yes.
Did they lock down like the whole city?
They sure did.
That's crazy.
For the first time in my entire life, they locked down not just the city, like the surrounding suburbs, everything.
Dude, the way they found that kid, like in that whole thing was insane.
No, did you see the documentary?
Yeah.
You did see the documentary?
Oh, there's a lot of documentaries, but is it the one about it's mostly about the younger kid?
No, it's just there's basically a whole there's a recap of the whole thing. I might be. Maybe I'm just new to it because I'm always late to things on like Netflix and fucking Prime Video and all that shit. So it might have feel new to me, but it wasn't. But it had shit that I hadn't seen before. But you know they had.
So I googled. Why do people say Boston is racist?
Oh, fucking hell!
Because it is. It's very racist.
I hope that's what the article said.
Wait, you can't just substitute super for super. That doesn't work.
You're super. Yeah, it is super racist.
So the reason why they're saying it is because Massachusetts ranked second in the nation for white supremacist propaganda activity, just behind Texas.
That's not good. Oh, you don't want it.
Boom.
When you
No, y'all know that. You
never
remember
want to be at the
Office?
top of that. That's not good. You never want to be next to Texas when they're comparing to.
That's the only time in sports it's better to be second place.
You know what? Do you know what that tells me though? That means it's the worst fucking propaganda operation in the face of the earth, considering how liberal this state is.
Yeah, you can call what it want, but it's racist.
America is racist. That's why I'm saying, America is racist. Why single out a certain city?
You didn't think Boston was that racist.
No, I didn't think it was super racist. I thought it was super.
I hear you.
I thought it was just mainstream.
Maybe
you guys are super racist.
I thought it was like just mainstream, right on par with everything else racist.
You match with Texas, so
you thought you were Midwest
second
racist?
Place.
no,
Texas.
My friend.
Listen, if you think Boston matches with Texas, any fucking
crazy. Crazy.
I love y'all. Y'all are so fucking cool.
God damn it! I'm here fucking defending this.
How are you
shit.
saying that from Utah?
That's fair. That's fair. You know, Utah.
I've never been more happy to be a Californian.
Jay,
Utah,
when is the last time you actually saw a person of color?
I live in Arizona. I live in Arizona now.
Talking about Boston's racist. This motherfucker hasn't seen anything but black and white TV for the last
Listen, when Utah,
That's
when
actually the
Utah
AI
was-
pictures that his very real, very catfish girlfriend are in color. So that's not fair.
Damn.
Wait, I am from Utah. Listen, when it came down to like they asked the leader of the state and the church his thoughts on like the Civil War when that was kicking off, and they're like, what side would you be on? And we were always taught growing up that like the Mormons were on the north. And we're like, oh, that's great. Like we were the good guys. So we were always told to say like we were on the north when people ask. But it turns out that the full quote was like, oh, we're with the North because
Turns out y'all more racist than Boston was.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. They
Jesus
said
Christ.
we don't even want black people here as slaves. Like that was
Talk
the
about
answer.
Texas.
It's like
Not the
God.
You want to compare
Like
fucking
Crocodile
Boston to
Dundee.
Texas? We're gonna get Boston to Texas and down dirty.
Not the Boston/Texas accent hybrid.
I know. I tried it the
My
other night.
point
It's
has
just,
been landed. He's got a
Somebody thought I
cowboy
was
hat,
having
and he's from
Somebody thought I was
Boston.
having a stroke.
this isn't helping. It's not helping the
Yeah,
argument for you.
it does
It's
not help you at all. This is making it better.
Hey, listen. Clearly, that propaganda is not working. Okay.
Listen, we're not making any claims. We're just saying if there was a tournament to decide, like to figure out which state was the most racist, you guys would you'd be the 2 seed. You'd be a pretty heavy betting favorite.
Y'all finish in
Now,
second
doggone
There'd be a
it,
lot of money
doggone
wagered
it, I
on you
disagree.
guys.
I
Well,
disagree, doggone it.
You're just Texas coming in. Texas was the clear 1 seed. They had an undefeated season. You guys lost that 1 game early on to Cleveland. You guys lost to Cleveland early on, but then you came storming back. You had a whole summer full of hate crimes, and you're back at the top.
Does it matter if I say I got this in Texas?
Yeah. Your sister city? Is that what you mean?
No, I got it. I got
Dallas,
this in Texas. This thing was like
What's
fucking
Boston's
$300.
sister city? This is gonna be so. Let's find out.
I just no, I wore this on Hal Sparks' radio show. No, it wasn't his radio show. On his YouTube channel the other day. We were making fun of the cowboy.
Well, Brian, someone had a valid question in the comments. Are you getting ready for the caravan to Texas?
Yeah, hell yeah. I don't miss a Ted Nugent show. I don't want to be talking about that racing.
Jay, I don't know if you know what time it is.
Yeah, I
But-
do. I'm just yeah.
Okay, just.
Yeah.
I've got it.
Dude, I just came up here to mess with y'all, but that is hilarious. I'm happy
dealing
that
with
now
Jay's, like,
you know
herding
Boston
cats.
is. I'm happy Boston knows his state is super racist.
Second. They're second.
Good Lord Almighty!
They're not. They're not bad, not super, but kinda. That's what you said, right? Kinda.
Right, kinda.
No,
Not
just
the super
baseline. We're just baseline racist here. Don't stop it.
I got another question for you, Boston. How does it feel that like the biggest hero of your like entire state is a guy that's famous for like when he saw troops coming, jumping on his horse and riding away? Oh, don't tell him! You guys stay here and fight. That's what.
Well,
the
I'm
most
sorry, when
famous
you have to
person
ride-
in your state.
When
I'm
you have
out
to
of here.
ride, when you have to
Fight
ride
hard.
26 miles so that
I'll
you
tell
can.
him. I'll tell him you fought valiantly. Goodbye.
I thought the biggest hero was my cousin from Boston.
Haji,
then
what you
from
don't,
Netflix.
what you're not
That
fucking
was a-
remembering is literally the only means of communication in that day. He had to ride 26 miles to light a fucking lamp in a church to tell people what the fuck was
Yeah,
going
that
on.
sounds way.
If
that
he had
sounds
his
way worse than
iPhone,
war.
it might
It
have
would
been a
have
lot
been much
easier.
more efficient if he could have sent an email. You're right.
Yeah, you can take a horse ride for 26 miles or battle it out 8 feet apart from each other
Listen,
with a musket.
do you not know the story? He was
I'll
screaming
ride
the whole way.
horse. I'm gonna go
Screaming
take a
the whole
horse
way,
ride,
Art.
please.
He was screaming the whole way. The fucking Brits are coming, motherfucker! The fucking
Of
red
course
coats!
he was a Boston guy. Of course he had to be fucking loud. He couldn't go anywhere quietly.
They're coming for us, Sam Adams. Close down
Fuck you,
Fenway
King
Park.
George! Fuck you!
Fuck you, kid. You ain't getting my tea. I'm dumping that shit.
Y'all
Fucking
cracking me up.
coats! What, red?
You want this
Everybody's
fucking
gonna
tea?
see you with red. Nice fucking coat.
You're gonna have to
Is
get
that
wicked.
the like the original like gang war like color war over colors? Is that the very first one? The red.
You want
Hey,
this
Boston,
fucking tea,
don't
kids? You're gonna have
literally.
to get wicked fucking wet.
Hey, Boston, don't feel bad. I'm from Florida. I'm born and raised, so don't
Ooh.
feel bad. But I know
Florida
I'm calling you out.
man.
Exactly. I'm calling you out because it's like, yeah, I'm bad, but you bad
Jesus
too.
Christ. Are you calling from the
Florida's got to be
villages?
3. Florida's got to be 3.
Are you calling from the villages?
We got 2 and 3 represented up here right now.
Florida was disqualified
And
for
I'm
cheating.
4. Utah's
Hold
might
on.
be 4.
Hold on. Are you calling Boston racist from the home of the villages?
Yeah, I am.
Good Lord Almighty.
I mean,
Yes.
your governor
I
did like
The
get rid
fucking
of.
you are
golf
you
cart,
guys
the
well
golf
because
cart
y'all try to
convoy.
no because you know why because Mass tries to play that shit off. Y'all are fucking very
Florida's
racist.
honest about their racism.
Yeah, exactly.
Massachusetts is lying.
They let us know. Like they'll be like, yeah, I don't like you, and I'm like, all right, cool.
He
Don't have to
brought
mess
up
with that guy.
I don't know if that's
Massachusetts
better.
left away from Florida. Now, we see what you were doing.
How about if I'll give you Plymouth. I'll give you Plymouth
Yeah,
Rock.
yeah. Kimberly's right. Florida is super racist, hard ER.
Yeah, but the thing is, they have to deal with it because we don't just accept it. Like we will beat you up for it, but it is what it is. Like, but I know Boston is very racist, and
And
Boston will
when
beat you up just for being there.
no, when he says beat up,
yes,
he means
they will beat
releases.
me up.
He means releases 12-foot snake and his 13 alligators, and then
Oh no,
that means he's
caught
gonna eat.
4 alligators. I'm gonna put a video on my.
Wait, what are those
thing
alligators
where I
doing
caught
in your
one.
house? They're supposed to be protecting the border.
No, and then he's gonna eat 3 grams of bath salts, and then fucking.
You set
No,
out.
you were talking about the community, not me. You were talking
Alright,
about the others,
sorry.
not
You're
me.
right. You're right.
Put out a
You're right.
snake and a crocodile, and all the people in Boston be like, "Look at these fucking foreigners." Just stop.
And then throw a hard ER in there. You know, the
Oh.
Bostons.
Stop it.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Kimberly. Follow that up.
I was just coming up here. Hello. I wanted to say on behalf of all Texans, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, see?
Hey,
Are
number
you
one
sorry
though,
that you're
Kim.
second
Number
place?
one. I'm gonna
Yeah,
give it up for
that's a-
Kim. Number
you're in
one
second
state in the
place?
nation.
We accept it. Thank you.
What'd you say, Jen?
I think. Are you upset that you're in second place? Is that what you're apologizing for?
No, I'm
I'm
upset
trying.
that we were in first place. No, we're
Yeah, y'all are in first place. Y'all are the worst. Texas
Yeah, I
is the
wish-
worst. Y'all
I
have
wish
beat
Greg
us
Abbott-
by far.
I wish Greg Abbott would just sit down and shut up for once, for Christ's sake.
I wish he would shut up for sure. I wish he would go away.
I mean, in fairness, he's usually sitting, but
Yeah, he's already sitting. But he's a horrible individual.
they totally missed that.
Well, this has been very enlightening. This has been very enlightening, I must say.
You're welcome, Brian.
Now you know how Florida feels about Boston.
I know how you
These are
feel
just a
about
lot of pots calling the kettle black. That's mostly what it is.
Hey, change the word.
Like, sorry, no.
Jesus Christ.
You ain't wrong.
Oh my God. What was that?
Apologize. Yeah, that was the wrong.
Holy
that was the
shit.
Wrong one. That was the
Well,
We're
that
not
one out of the
racist.
wrong sack, huh?
We're not racist, but
I'm a mute for a while.
This is one of our favorite games. This is one of our favorite black folk games. Is say like vaguely racist stuff and see how white people react.
That's the worst. game to play.
it's Black History Month. I gotta mess with y'all, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's fair.
I'm loving all of it.
Remember, Boston, just baseline racist. No more, no less. Just
No more, no less. Yeah,
Just kinda.
exactly. Just kinda. Yeah, exactly.
Brian, if I can
Jen.
own it, you can own it. It's okay. It's terrible.
fuck that.
We just gotta
Fuck
vote these
that.
people out. Vote them out.
I'm not taking it for fucking couple drunk assholes at TD Guide and yelling racist shit. The fuck out of here with that shit. Not you, Kim, but that whole thing.
You're gonna walk down the street and there's somebody who's gonna listen to this and be like, they're gonna see you and be like, racist. And keep
Yeah,
walking.
right. I heard you on that live. You saying Boston's racist?
Exactly.
Like, fuck, why do you gotta bring that question in? Like, Andy's
Dude, I love
joking.
you
Somehow he
guys.
still made me look like an asshole as he's joking.
No, you're not an asshole. I just wanted to mess with you, man. I love you, Boston, bro. I love
Right
every
back at
single
you,
one of
dude.
y'all. Y'all are fucking hilarious, and I
Right
watch
back
y'all
at you.
all the time, and I appreciate what you guys do.
No, Fuzzy, if you're gonna fucking come up and say because I don't like fucking seafood that I'm not actually from fucking Boston, it's not gonna fly anymore, okay? I've been getting harassed this whole life.
Yeah, we already covered he's poor. He can't get. He's not buying seafood.
Hey, you guys said that. I didn't say shit.
And racist. And racist. Don't forget that one.
But
Listen,
Brian, at
all-
least you
Poor
didn't
Brian.
think that Fenway only had one 8-ounce beer. So
That's true.
there's
That's
all
true.
right.
So
That's-
that's a
Sorry, I trusted somebody in Boston. Listen, that's it. I went 30 minutes over. I'm gonna call it because I gotta get up and do this shit in the morning again.
yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Somebody, if you want to go talk to Fuzzard, you go live, and I'll say you guys can all go over there. All right, bye
we
everyone.
do.